First of all, how do I say your last name? Trevor
Gagne.
Gagne.
Hmm.
Dang, okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah,
Gagne.
it's very very French Canadian. Think of it like the shampoo
Is it?
Garnier.
Oh, but it's Garnier with the R.
Yeah, it's Gagne. So it's like yeah, there's no
Gagne.
R in it like in the first like in the first half of it.
Mm.
There's like there's like 60 different ways to spell my last name and only one way to pronounce it, or something like that. Like there's like a
Gagne.
weird like yeah, there's like a weird like lineage, like a genealogy that kind of like
Gagne.
goes along with that. So
Okay.
it's kind of funny.
I've been mispronouncing it, I think. I've been calling you Garner and all these things.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
I've been called I mean Tyler, so hearing Tyler Gagnier, I'll respond to that. That's just
Tyler.
kind of like I've been called Tyler a lot in my life. Tyler or Travis,
Hmm. Is it because
not
you
Trevor.
is it Hmm. I feel like I don't know if this is like a compliment or not, but I feel like you look like all three of those.
I can kind of get behind that. I can understand Tyler a lot. I can definitely see a Tyler. I don't see Travis a whole lot. Maybe I don't know. I've lived with my name the entire life, so I'm definitely very biased. But
Hmm. Trevor. Trevor Gagne.
yep, that's me.
Gagne. Cool. It does sound cool. Um,
Feels very uppity,
it
very
does.
like you know,
But
hoity-toity.
but I like that you kind of just like I think your isn't your is your Instagram just Trevor Gagne, like your name?
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
my name.
There's like a there's something with that I feel like where you just kind of don't use an alias or like you don't have like a creative twist on your name because some people have like
Mhm,
names where I like read their username and I'm like that's actually a really cool twist on their name and every time
mhm.
I go into a spiral thinking about how I can make my name into a cool twist and I can't, it always sounds cringe to me like whatever I try to do.
Well, it's funny because it's like I also because I have like my photography stuff for like my main account, right? But I also have my black and white photo account, which is a lot more like casual, like everyday shooting, and I called that one Trevor Gagnoir as like a play, like
Oh.
yeah. And so like I did that one because I thought it was kind of funny because I get Gagnier all the time, so I'm like
Mm-hmm.
Gagnoir, like it'll be. And then I have my like music account that I've been like severely neglecting and have pseudo abandoned at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like my like creative alias. Which I was thinking about, like, maybe, like, absorbing and turning into my artist name, but
Mm-hmm.
I just I'm pretentious enough, I don't need to put a name on it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I think also like not having a um sorry, just trying to adjust. Not
No, you're
having
fine.
an alias can sometimes just be easier at the end of the day, like long term, because there's a
It's also
lot
how
of
your name spreads quicker, like, in
yeah,
networking,
yeah,
stuff
and
like
it's
that,
your and
you
it's
know?
your name. Like there's no like digging or having to be like, is this the right one or is this the right person?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, the name is the brand for and that's a dual-edged sword on its own too, but,
yeah.
you
Or
know, I think
sometimes like you
for
can come
better
up
or worse.
like if like people. I think like recently I have I had friends over for like my birthday and we played like old Halo games and stuff and we all like
Mhm.
pulled up our old gamer tags and stuff like that. And it's just like you look at your old gamer tag, you're like, geez, I was like 12 when I made that, or like your first email or whatever. It's always something
Yeah,
that you kind
dude.
of look back and you're like, oh yeah, why did I make it that? It's so stupid. So like
I'm so glad
you kind of avoid that if you
that,
just
like
don't make an alias.
yeah, like and that's the great because it's like like, I'm so glad, like, if you like 'cause I grew up on PlayStation, right? And so, like, my gamer tag was, like, super cringe. It was just, like, I made it when I made it when I saw the PSP, like, the first PSP, like,
Whoa.
PSN had just, like, just come out. So I was, like, 7 years old, and I really like Star Wars, so I'm like, "Oh, Star Wars Trevor, that's so badass." And then
Yeah.
I was, like, 15, and I was like, "I can't do this anymore, bro."
Just Star
And so
Wars
I
Trevor.
yeah, and so, like and I can't remember when they introduced, like, the f one free name change, but the second that came out, I'm like, "I'm changing this right now." Like,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
wasting any time.
That's
Um
hilarious.
so yeah, it was pretty funny, but I don't know. I think that'll like just stick to like video games more or less. Um and kind of let my art account or whatever I do just kind of be me cuz like I said, I think it's a like better for networking. Your name spreads faster and it's like I think when you attach your name to your brand, so to speak, or your art or whatever. I don't want to call it a brand because I don't want to corporatize it or
Fair
industrialize
enough.
it, but I think it's like if you want to branch out into getting client work, right? Like it's not like, oh, I who the hell's, so and so, I don't know his name, but it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Trevor, like I know him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, the way I think about it too, if I think about it too much, is it feels a little like self-aggrandizing, like I am the whatever,
it
like
does.
I am like
Yeah,
there's like a title
that's
to
where that
you.
dual edge kind of comes in because it's like you don't want to be like, it's like, oh man, that Trevor guy's a real a hole, you know. And
Yeah.
so like, there's always that little like little bit of a, I don't know. You are putting yourself out there, and so and I don't know. Maybe it's like not pressure because it's like it's not hard to be like, um, courteous and kind
Mhm.
to people,
Yeah.
but but at the same time, it's like if you ever get like leave a wrong impression, but in some way or another, it's you kind of do have that like attached to you in your name,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's
it's like
always a
that's my
risk.
government name.
Yep.
So like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's the tricky thing.
Yeah, it's like that's my full
So
name, huh, great.
well,
No, that's cool. I just remembered like the way like I just the reason I guess I asked that is because I was trying to think about like how did we first start like interacting? Was it did I reach out to you because
I
of the work you were doing, or did you find me through the Akira
no
stuff?
actually I think when you were blowing up over the Akira stuff, I followed you, and then I just like randomly joined your Discord,
Cool.
and I think I just popped in VC one day because I like you like didn't add
Mm,
everyone. And I was like, oh, like fuck it, why not? I'll join,
cool.
and just we just like made shit, and
Yeah.
I don't know, and that was just like fun. Like I just felt I don't know, like I really liked your work a lot, so I was wanting to like hang out and make cool shit with you while you guys were in there because
Yeah. Yeah, I
I have a
think
lot of friends that really do that.
Yeah, I think I remember that. There's been a couple of sessions where I just kind of like do an at everyone ping and then
Mhm.
see who's around. It's usually late at night or something stupid like that. No warning, no heads up, just like, hey, I feel
Mhm.
like working right now. And those times where it'll be like the first hour, just I don't know if this is interesting, but like from I'm always really scared about like pinging everyone to join me because I have this whole thing of like fear of rejection or whatever, so it's like I don't want to ask people to come to this thing and then everyone's like, nah, can't, and then I'm just like, all right, I shouldn't have asked, sorry. Like there's always that like little bit of feeling, but it's
I'm the
always,
same way.
yeah, but like it's like I don't need to be that hard on myself, but
No.
naturally over like an hour or more people do come through, and it's even if it's just one person,
Mhm.
like sometimes it was just like you and me and we would get into like long conversations, and sometimes like other people
Mhm.
funnel in, and yeah, there's like always this like I don't know, doing that, there's like a weird like relationship because there's a bit of like almost like a power dynamic where it's like the host is like starting this thing and then everyone joins in. And then especially if you're there because you like that person's work, then you feel like there's like already kind of like a hierarchy where it's like I'm here because I'm your
Mhm.
fan, so I'm just gonna like listen to what you're saying and I'm not a part of this.
Yeah,
But I feel like over time,
I don't want
naturally, yeah, like through those sessions, what's cool is naturally that happens is we all just kind of end up yapping about our own shit, and we're just like a bunch of buddies like
yeah,
sitting in there, and it's not really about like I'm a fan of your work, like you're better than me or
yeah,
whatever. It's just like we're all like just talking about our shit.
yeah, there's, like, no like, it's not really superficial, like, you get past that, like, superficial phase, and I think that's what's, like, so fun because like, I think that kinda, like, it circles around to, like, a bigger point of, um, like, as corny as like this may sound, like artist therapy or like art through community, like
Mhm.
it's a really important thing. Like I think like the ability to have a community you can turn to and feel like you can like co-create with these people and not feel like that, not even like competing, but like that you are like there is like a sort of like hierarchy of like skill or status or prestige or whatever,
Mhm.
right? Like what the second you get past like that like preconception you have, you like also accept so many more ideas from these
Yeah.
people because you don't feel like that you have to like stifle what you're saying in fear of being judged, or maybe like you're like, oh, I'm making this thing but it's kind of dumb and I don't really want to show you guys because I don't want you to judge me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then once you get past that stage, you're like, hey, you want to look at this really shitty thing I made? Like
Mhm.
that's the really fun part of it is that like even like knowing that you made something that you think kind of sucks, but you want to share it because like you made it, right?
Yeah.
And you like want to share it with people,
You know,
and then you even
participate.
ask for feedback. And but it's like that, and that's how you like become better as an
Yeah.
artist. Like you you're like, I know this sucks, and I want to show you guys this sucks, and I want you to teach me like or show me like how it can be better,
Yeah.
and like or like what ideas or what angles do you see it from, or how are you approaching it, and that I can like absorb and maybe like come at it from a different attack,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and that's how you grow. Like it's
Mhm.
and that's why community as an artist is really really important. And I think um there's a whole, I mean, I could go on a whole tangent about this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like more or less what I'm getting at is like it's really important to find people that make you feel comfortable as a creator,
Mhm.
because it's like it is the fastest and most honest way to grow.
Yeah.
Um
It also feels
Having
good.
that network is so important.
Yeah.
It does feel good. You
It
feel good about
does.
yourself, you feel good about your work.
There's
Um
like sometimes I'll go on like the Blender subreddit or like all these like other communities like Discord servers and stuff, and people will be like, I've been doing Blender for like a week. How does this look?
mhm.
Like, give me feedback, roast it. Well, give me a 0 out of 10 rating. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's just because like it's kind of tired to see that, but also I'm just like, you've been doing Blender for like a week. This looks fine. Like
Yeah,
you don't need a critique. Like I don't know. Like sometimes like there's this like I don't even know what it is, but there's like this like constant need to show your work to somebody and to constantly like find out if it's good enough or if the topology is good or like rate my
social media.
is the topology good? And it's like it's fine. Like just keep going. Like it's like a screenshot of your project right in the middle. You just started, and it's just like, how is this?
Yeah,
Like, it's fine. Just keep going. Like, don't even stopping and checking in with like people and waiting till you get the green light to keep going. Just keep going. Like, I don't even know.
like
I really can't give you
really
like.
bad.
It's not a long answer. It's not like, oh yeah, so I see all these different factors and here's how you can improve. It's just like, it's fine. Keep going. Like, I feel like that's one of the things that
Yeah,
artists do is like, and I did this. Like, I'd bring my portfolio or my sketchbook or whatever to a portfolio review, and it would be a piece that I'm like crazy about or not crazy about, and I just show it to someone, and I'm like, "What can I do to make it better?" And they're like, "Is it done?" And then I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Okay," like they can recognize something in it to do to the next piece, but
yes.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Some a lot of art is just okay. Like it's not bad. It's fine. Like just
Yeah,
do it again. Like art is like
yep,
iterative. So just keep going. Like
yes.
it's fine. Like you don't have to work this piece to death.
Don't stop at one.
Just stop. It's good. Make the new one. Like
Yeah,
what do you want to I don't know. I don't know if it's like if it's too abstract, but that's just kind of how I feel sometimes when I see artwork that wants to get a critique. I'm like, honestly, it looks good. Like, you're young or like you've been doing art for a short amount of time, like looks good. I don't know. I'm sorry there's not more I can tell you, but looks good,
There's not much.
like
Just keep going,
or
do
just
more,
or
like
drop it. If you're bored with it, drop it, start a
yeah,
new one. Like that's
that's
there's
true.
like this very early part of art of making art before you're doing it like as a career or before someone is like paying you and there's a pressure of like doing it for money or for a deadline where you have
Mhm,
like a lot more freedom than you think to just make whatever and
mhm.
like you don't even have to show it to anyone if you don't want to,
Oh,
but you can. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like I'm swimming in a lot of different things. It's like a lot of messages
yeah,
here.
and, like, cause like, I mean, if I were to show you, like, I over the years, I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I would like I tried to make a photo work and it never worked, or even like God, my Blender files where it's just like I'm like, oh no, I lost interest. This looks bad, and I don't want care enough to make it look good,
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like those small things that keep building up, right? It's like sure, like this thing I tried, modeling and Blender didn't work out, but like I learned this tool that I carried, or this little trick I carried into the next piece that I ended up using for this project,
Mhm.
right? And so it's just this like delineation of like small pieces you pick up, and like it really does come from like where you're working on something that you just had a passing curiosity on, and you're sitting there and you're like modeling it or you're like editing it and you're like, huh, and then you're on that like 2 a.m. like YouTube like binge, and
Yeah.
then you're like sitting there like pissed off at your computer and you're like, why is this working, dude? And
That's
you're
the
like, and then you
worst.
finally get it and you're like, thank God.
Do you know what's
And then
worse?
you like,
What's worse than that is when
what?
you don't get it and you have to go to sleep like that.
Oh, yes, and then the next day, it's all you think about the next day, and you're, like, kinda pissed off
You're
about it
so
still,
disappointed in
and then
yourself.
yes, yeah, and you're like, "God, I'm so stupid," and then you get home, and then you figure it out, and you're like, "Oh, that's what it was,"
Yeah.
right? And so
Sometimes I've had
but
those
and then you
moments where I figure it out.
really
Like, sometimes I have those
yeah,
moments where I figure it out, like, 2, 3 days later, and I'm not and I've already passed being disappointed in myself, the anger has passed, and I'm just
yeah,
like
the
and
grief,
then whatever the answer is, I'm just like, "Why was that so hard to find?" Like, sometimes that'll be with
mhm,
Blender or that'll be with some other program that I'm using, and I'm just like, why? Like, and I'm almost like existentially confused and mad at the
mhm,
program and mad at like the community around this program for not facilitating that answer sooner or better or more cleaner.
yeah,
And I'm just like, why is this so hard to find? Why is this like? I think it was you or somebody else in the server that said like, in Blender, if you want a surface to be reflective in Eevee, if it's if it's dithered, it'll be reflective. If it's not dithered, if it's blended, there's like a certain checkbox that like disappears. And it's like something like that, where like if you eventually find the answer to, if it's like 3 days and it's 4 a.m. and you're sleep deprived, you're like not actually making any progress in the project that you're working on, and then you find the
no,
answer, you'd be mad at like almost the world for hiding this or making this thing not easy to find. It's like
yeah,
you feel better,
there's
but
so
you
many
also feel so like I spent 3 days stressing myself out over this and being distracted. And it was like right
yeah,
there. What the hell?
it's almost like the thing of, like, you see it and you, like, you you learn it, but you don't, like, understand it or absorb it, you know? Like, sometimes, like,
Oh
you almost
yeah.
wonder, like, "I wonder how many times I missed that,"
Yep.
like, in the search for it because I got so, like, tunnel visioned into, like, finding what it was that, like, what it was, like, brushed past me, and I didn't notice,
Yep.
you know? Like,
Hmm.
I feel like that's probably happened to me at least a few times because it's like I remember when I was learning, because like, I'm not a big 3D artist by any means, like, I very passively use Blender,
Hmm.
but, like, in the times where I was really, like, learning it and doing a lot of stuff in it, it was very much like, I would have that 3-day thing where I would be disappointed in myself, and then I'd be angry, and then I would be, like, almost existential about it and just be like, "Well, it is what it is," you
Yeah.
know?
I'll
Like,
never do this, and
and
that's okay.
yes. And then you find it, and you're like, "That wasn't even that bad. Like, why was I stressing about that the entire
Yeah.
time?" And then you're, like, mad at yourself again because you're
Yeah.
like, why did I let myself get so angry over that?"
Yeah. What's
You
wrong
know?
with
It's
me?
this weird process that's, like, so odd.
Yeah.
But then you finish it, and you're like, "This doesn't even look that good."
Yeah,
That's the
dude.
funny
Oh my God. That's the worst feeling ever.
and but it's not hopeless because like you do have a new thing added to your toolkit, and that's the most important thing is that like you now have this thing because you now remember the experience of what it's like to like search for it for X amount of days,
Hmm.
and then like you're like I have to drill this in to remember it so I don't ever have to experience it again.
Yeah.
And so it's just through repetition and like repetition through anything, like even if it's like not even like a technical aspect, right? But if you're making like something like if you're doing world building, right? Like if you're trying to make like things that exist in a world like it's in your head,
Yeah.
like that constant uh like iteration, like these iterations of things you're making.
Mm,
Like obviously like V1's gonna look way different than like V6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever,
true.
right? Um but there's so much like not only growth of like your technical prowess, but also your chisel's getting smaller and smaller, and your taste becomes a lot more refined in the thing that you're thinking of too.
Yeah.
So like you're both growing your technical ability to use a program or use whatever it is in whatever form of art making you're doing, but also you're refining the way that you choose to present it
Yeah.
and like how your mental image of it is because your mental image does get stronger the more that you're able to expand on something, and like your idea of it can shift and become a lot more potent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like creative blocking and it just smaller and
Totally.
smaller and smaller.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I'm gonna say something, or I'm gonna ask you something. It's kind of meta because
Okay.
like as I'm watching you like get like really into all of this stuff and going deep, I love it first of all, but second of all,
Sorry.
no. There's another part of it which is like I'm kind of the audience now, and it's like oh it's just fun to just like hear Trevor talk about all this stuff and explain it, and I'm in multiple minds. Like I'm your
Mhm,
like friend in this. I'm also like
mhm,
the host, quote unquote. I'm also
mhm.
at the other part of the world, like recording this, and there's like maybe I'm just getting distracted. I don't know, but I'm like feeling a
Those
bunch
are
of
fine.
things, and I'm thinking, no, but it's fun for me to recognize that and then kind of tell you about it. But
Mhm.
how are you feeling right now?
Like, right now in the moment or, like, in general?
Yeah, right in the moment.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Fine, I think.
What did you when I remember when I asked you to like do a recording with me, what did you think? What did you feel?
Honored, definitely very grateful because it's like I don't know, I've only done maybe, like I c I haven't done, like, anything like this before,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yep.
I've given, like, small talks, to, like, college classes,
Oh, cool.
for, like, prospective photography students before, and, like,
That's cool.
I've done, like, small seminars. I've done, like, pseudo one-on-one coaching a lot with
Oh,
people
interesting.
because, like, I I do have, like, a pretty, um, extensive technical background with photography, just
Mm,
given, like, that my actual like, between my day jobs and whatnot, like, have kind of been more or less in the photo industry for the past oh god, I mean, I've been freelancing loosely for,
mm.
like, 10 years now.
Damn, it's a long time.
Um, yeah, and then also, like, I've worked at photo studios. I'm currently at a film lab. I've worked at another film lab, and so like I've done a lot of different photo stuff. So I people do come to me for like photo advice and
Yeah, your
I s-
photos are really
you know
good.
thank you. And I study composition a lot. I did a lot in like color theory and all that stuff. Like I've really you know put
Wow.
myself to the books about it and like I it's a in a sense, like it's we were talking about, it's always an iterative thing because
Yeah,
it's like your taste changes and your idea of what a certain thing is changes, and so, like, it's this, like, perfect intersection between, like, technical background and, like, your taste and, like, how you choose to present it.
true.
And so anyways, I'm not getting into that tangent. Anyways, I was very honored, to have you come to me about it because I was like, I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I get to, hang out with I could talk about my work and
Yeah, yeah,
just yeah for a little bit. Like
yeah.
it's fun,
Do
So
you do you f
like,
do you feel like I don't want this to be like a leading question, but do you feel like you have to give a talk?
mm, no, I just naturally talk.
Okay, cool.
I'm a rambler.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's no like right or wrong way to answer. I was just curious like how you're feeling like in the moment. I think
No,
that
I feel very good.
yeah. The only reason I ask is because like I think when I first started doing this like series, I really don't like calling it a podcast because I think podcast has like a negative connotation to it because there's that
Yeah.
meme of like enough podcasts, we have enough. And so
Yes.
I don't know if this is that in my head is a lot of things and it has a lot of different like value and purposes and stuff for me and for whoever might be listening to this and for the person that I usually have on. So there's like it's more of like almost like an art a creative art experiment for my like that I'm that we're collaborating
Yeah.
on that and I think that's
Yeah.
kind of how I tried to describe it. It's for me like it's a version of creativity for me to kind of
Mhm.
put my ideas into thoughts and then like put them out there and then same for you, and it's also working with somebody else and then making a final product and putting it out there and then
Mm,
whatever other people can experience it. But I remember when I started this, like my first episode that I recorded is up on YouTube and it was called something else, but it was just
mhm,
me and a buddy of mine from way back. And I think the one that I posted was our second recording because our first recording was equally as long, but it was so much like we both were like it was new for me, it was new for him, and we're both
mhm.
professionals, but still something about the stage that we're on right now, and like the concept that we're like recording a thing for somebody to listen to. There's like a
Yeah.
part there's a part of it when I listened to it in the beginning, the first episode that didn't get released. I was like, God, we are just so like, it's almost like we're doing a tag team TED talk where it's like he goes on
Yeah.
stage and he like, you know, profoundly says all these things, and then he's like, okay, cool, like you go in, and then I go out and I'm like, all right, so like artists, like who are we, what do we do, like all this kind of shit. And it felt like that, like that's not what we actually talked about, but we were just like both really excited, so we're both like all over the place, like yapping about like Dragon Ball Z, and then like fucking making art. I remember this, remember that, and then it was like all over the place. It was also us catching up, and then it was also this like almost like exhaustive run-on sentence about like whatever topic like I ask him, he would have to be like, it seemed like I would ask him like, oh, like why do you do what you do, and then he'd be like, okay, and then he would like attack with like this
Yeah.
like big answer, and then I would hear it, and then I'm like, I don't think I really kept up on a lot of that. I don't know, I don't remember what he said.
Yeah.
I don't, if there's anything in there that was valuable or not, or he if there was a tangent at some point that I missed. So I'm just kind of sharing my experience of doing this. And
Yeah.
as much as like I listen to other like art interviews or podcasts or people talking, and I kind of witness it as the audience, it's such a different and unique experience to be either be like kind of, I'm assuming in your position, like you said, you've given talks, all this stuff, but now you're in this like seat and you're like, I'm honored, like this is a whole thing, and like there's like a feeling there. But for me, it's also like if you ever host, like if you ever do one of these, even like as an experiment that you don't publish, it would
Mhm.
just like, I recommend it just from like creative point, because it's as a creative thing, it's so unique and it's so different from anything
Yeah.
that we do. And
Mhm.
yeah, there's like a meta to like how you feel, like recognizing how you feel, like, whoa, am I playing the character of an artist right now, or am I being me? Or is me like an artist? Or, like if I am I performing, or am I being me? And like, is that
I think
important? Like it's such a
yeah.
interesting thought.
I think, like, kinda to bounce off of that a little bit is, I've always there's always, like, a big, kinda struggle and conundrum with the whole idea of, like, who am I versus, like, the thing I create, right? And I think that, like, there is there's okay, so I almost view it as, like, here's me, right? And then here's the thing I make, and obviously, like, I make that thing. But then, like, there's somewhere where it's like it's in the middle where those 2 things converge, but they're not like there's a gap in between them. I can see it,
Mhm.
where it's like there's so much of who I am that is not in the art I make, but there's also so much of my art that's not like a part of me, even though like I'm the only one who makes it, and so much of like literally it's from my perspective of the world and
Mhm.
like the things I like imagine in my head, right? But
Mhm.
there's so much of it that like when it's out there, it's like almost like that's not mine anymore, you know? And so there's that level of it where like
True.
but it really and this depends on the piece too, because it's like sometimes there are things out there that are super sentimental, super personal, that kind of like that almost like waffle in the middle. And they're like there are some things I've made, especially after like my mom passed away, that like are obviously like very, very sentimental to me.
Mhm.
And I can't not view them as like something I made when I was going through an extremely difficult time in my life.
Mhm.
And like I was going through a really hard experience, right? Um, and so, like, those things are out in the world, but, like, those are things I don't think I would ever, like that's not something I would ever, like, be like, "I'm running a print sale on this photo that I made after
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mom." I would never do it for, like, something like that because it's so like, it comes from such an intrinsic place that, like, I almost would feel like I'd be doing it an injustice to try and commodify it to some degree.
That's fair.
And
Yeah,
so, like,
I get that.
there's that aspect of it. But yeah, there is this kind of balance where it's like how much of me is in my in the thing I make, and how much of that is like a part of me, you know? And again,
Yeah.
it's always
I
day
feel
by day.
like,
You're always like, I don't know where to start.
yeah, like that is one of those things that's like I've thought about so much, and I've like made myself exhausted thinking about that. Like I've exhausted myself thinking about
Yes.
that. And sometimes it's like an interesting thing to go into, and then a lot of times it's
Mhm.
kind of just like so abstract that it's like you're not really talking about anything. Um, but I think this kind of started originally, to go back to like what I asked, was how we cross
Mhm.
paths. And you mentioned that it was you jumped into my Discord server and then we talked through that. And I think that I'll say this, the thing about your work that I got attracted to was the glitchy, like artifacting thing.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
there's been a few people that I don't know if it's like an algorithm thing, but there was another artist, Mr. Jackio, that I liked
Yep.
a while ago.
He's black.
And yeah, and him and I go back because I think he was on we found each other on TikTok, and then I still had an Instagram, and then he started his Instagram, and then we kind of did like early stuff together, and now he's huge. But he and I,
He's blown up.
yeah, we still
Cool.
keep in touch, and he's doing games and stuff. Like it's really cool to watch
Yeah.
somebody and follow their stuff, and just to see how much they go outside of like their main like niche. But that aesthetic that he has with like the vintagey CRT things, I think that's what I saw in your work. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like that's really
Mhm.
unique, and I like that. And then I think same with Mr. Jackio and I, when we did a collab, I sent him Akira renders, and I was like, hey, just throw these, do your thing with them, and hopefully something cool comes out, because Akira is like old, it's like considered vintage in a way,
Yeah.
and so putting it back into that environment, to that setting, is really like, it's very fitting. And the same thing with Neon Genesis Evangelion. I feel like it's kind of, it has like, it's been remastered, it's been redone. There's all this stuff to it, but
Mhm.
the original has like a certain like appeal to it. And then I thought like, oh, it'd be cool to send it to you. And my thinking was that like the Akira renders and the stuff that I did, it was kind of smooth and it was kind of fitting to like a fuzzy CRT look. But then your stuff was like
Yeah.
this kind of aggressive, distorted stuff.
Noise.
And then
Yeah.
I thought
Cool.
that, and this is, I don't know if this was like, I don't know, I don't think I ever communicated this to you, but the reason I wanted to send you the Neon Genesis like renders is because the show, like the movies and the show and the concepts inside of that anime, are very like
Mhm.
traumatizing and disturbing. There's a lot of like mental breakdowns and stuff like that that happen.
Yeah.
There's like screaming, like, just it's intense, right? So, um, and so, like, I thought that would be almost fitting to your version of how you do the glitch art, because it is like you're like, it's like it looks like things are being torn apart, they're being like discombobulated and
Yeah.
reassembled and stuff, and it's this very like distorted vintage thing that I thought, oh, I feel like that's more fitting to like an Evangelion thing. So that was, I think, why I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to see, because it almost like reinforces the themes around Evangelion and recontextualizes them and like presents them in a new way that still feels fitting. If I would have sent you like the Akira building renders, I feel like it would not pair well with like the movement and the erratic style of like the glitchy stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just me kind of
It's kind of,
sharing like where I came from with that.
and to kind of bounce off of that a little bit is so I'm very careful about like what I do and don't glitch. I think
That makes
glitches are
sense.
really like it's an extremely powerful tool, and um, I think
Mm.
I think with glitch, it's like it is the thing that I wanted my work to look like before I even knew it existed, and like
Oh, cool.
when and like I got into it because I was my with when I was with my ex, they were going to art school and they had um this guy that came to the school to present his glitch stuff, and
Mm.
that person would end up um, be my buddy Peter Clark.
Cool.
He and at enter Knoll on Instagram. Amazing, amazing artist and glitch guru and all that shit. He's just an amazing human being and amazing
Mm.
artist. So, anyways,
Just gonna write his name
it's funny
down.
because yeah, Peter Clark, and at enter Knoll.
Oh,
It's
Null.
yeah. And and his work's amazing. But you know, I he before I moved to Florida, back in 2021,
Mhm.
no, I think 21.
What?
Um, we won? Yeah, he, uh, he, we bonded and, like, we met up to have a burrito before I left at it's someplace in Southeast Portland, and, we talked about glitch art, and he, like, told me about everything, and
Did you
he,
just, like,
like
reach out to him, like, after you saw his talk, like, after the talk, or how did you get that
actually,
close?
my ex, knew him because they used to skate together,
No, cool.
and said like, "Hey, like my boyfriend really likes your work. He wants to hang out with you." Blah blah. Or like, it was not very much like, "Can you text him for me?" It
Yeah,
was much
yeah.
like casual while
Cool.
they were skating,
You guys were cool
and
about it.
so yeah, yeah, yeah. And so and then we just I think I hit him up, or I can't remember who hit each other up,
Mhm.
but we met and got a burrito, and he told me about the whole process. He showed me he lived right around the corner, and so I got to see a little bit
Wow.
of his glitch equipment and everything he was doing.
That's cool of him to
And it
do
was right
that.
then. Yeah, and he's amazing because he'll go to like different colleges from like around the country and like on the West Coast specifically, and give workshops about glitch stuff. And
Damn.
so he's really like kind of like a big proprietor of like trying to like kind of democratize the medium a little bit
For
and get more
sure.
people into it, because I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and it's like I think it won't be around forever because the market is for these things are just skyrocketing
Mm.
as it is. But anyways, he showed all that stuff to me, and like the instant I was in like his like studio and like
Mhm.
playing with like the glitch machines, his modules, I was like, oh, this is what I want to do,
That's
right? Like it
cool.
was instant. Like I didn't have to like, and so about maybe I don't know. I had done a big move and money was really hard for a while, and so that was one thing I like super put off. And then I think about a year and a half later, a little over a year later, I got my first glitch machine, and it was like game over. Like I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I bought kind of an old PVM off of Facebook,
When
no,
you
eBay.
when you say you knew
Uh,
what you wanted to do, like, did you just know you wanted to fuck around with this stuff and just whatever
yeah,
comes out of it you will, like, document,
yeah,
or
and it's because
you just knew, like, you
I
wanted some type of
yes,
career with it or something?
it wasn't really a career. Well, not yet at that point. It was much more like I just want a new. I was getting like I felt like I'd hit a wall with
Mhm,
photography,
mhm.
and
Cool.
excuse me. And so like there was like a bit of um like I wanted more layers of depth, right? And
Yep.
I wanted to like maybe shift the way I was doing, like also constructing like a narrative through imagery.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had really, really hit a wall on like what it was I was trying to say. Also, like my subject matter was changing a lot, and like the
Mhm.
things I really wanted to talk about through my imagery was changing a lot. And I just wasn't getting where I wanted to be. And so I felt like glitch machines were the bridge, like to get me to that final bit of like, oh, this is how I want to convey what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I got my first one, and I had like this little PVM I bought of eBay, and it had like screen burn-in and stuff.
What's a PVM?
Um, so PVM,
What does it stand
I'm
for?
gonna turn oh my god,
Does it have is
uh,
it an acronym for something?
yeah, it is. So Sony made models of both PVMs and BVMs, and PVM stands for production video monitor,
Oh, okay.
and BVM stands for broadcast video monitor,
Oh,
and
okay.
they are these things. So I'm gonna show you. This is my setup right now, but
Oh, I see.
like
So they're just, like,
that is
big
a
TV looking
PVM.
things.
Yeah, they're CRTs, and they were used. These weren't consumer sets.
Yeah, they
They
don't look
were
like it.
actually used. No, they were used in news stations and for like video production teams and whatnot. Like these were the TVs that were like either used in studios or they were brought out to do field shoots.
Yeah, weird.
I do have a consumer model also that I actually used for a long time. That's currently in the other room in the
Mhm,
closet, but and that those things are awesome too. That's actually I I bit Peter, and so I got the exact same model that he got, but he
mhm.
also was like, you should get this one when you get
Yeah.
into it. So I'll pin him on that.
That's cool.
um,
Dude,
yeah, dude,
that's I
it's
that I just love hearing that because it's that thing of, like, just some artist being like, "Yeah, dude, everyone should know how to do this," and, like,
yeah,
and him just
he
being
was
so
so chill about
so open with, like, "Here's exactly what I'm using," him letting you into his studio to let you like tool around with some of it and play with it. I also know
Yeah,
exactly
it
that
was
feeling you're saying of like um when you've hit a wall with your work and you're like
yeah,
it's like you almost hit a ceiling where you're like, I don't I
yeah,
feel like I'm doing everything I want to do. It looks exactly how I want it to look, but it's like I feel like my skills are almost like being like I'm not creatively challenging or
yeah.
sharpening that blade.
Like, you have the technical ability, but your brain, like, can't generate the idea
Yeah,
almost, you know?
yeah, and I felt that same exact way before I got into 3D because I
Mhm,
was just pretty fast, pretty good at, like, creating digital illustrations. I could photo bash,
mhm,
I could digitally paint, I could do everything I wanted. I started to even try to challenge myself in different ways, like digitally painting 1 painting a day or doing it under 30 minutes or using only, like, certain tools or certain brushes, and, like, a lot of digital artists do these kinds of challenges to like stay creative and come up with new techniques and stuff, but I was doing that and I would do it for like a month, you know, like do it as a new artwork every day for a month, and sometimes it'd be cool, sometimes it'd be ass, but I would just
yeah,
kind of be like, okay, cool, but it never felt like I was really breaking through into something into like a whole new universe way of making artwork. And then of
yeah,
course, like once I learned about Cinema 4D and Keyshot and then Blender, that's when I was like, wait, I can bring my 2D artwork into 3D, and then I can look at a plane, an image of my artwork like in 3D. Okay, wait, now I can cut these characters out and create like depth,
mhm,
and then I can fly the camera through my scenes. That's when it was like, oh wait, now I can start to I'll take all my knowledge of creating an environment, creating an atmosphere, a world,
mhm.
and reconstruct all of that using the third dimension. And that's when it
Mhm.
became like, I don't know what I want to
It's
make.
cool.
I just want to make stuff. I just want to take.
Yeah,
I was starting to look at my old 2D artwork and like, as an exercise, I would recreate it in 3D. Like that was just the my bridge into staying kind of grounded in my work while not going so far into the 3D world where I was like getting frustrated. So I'd be like, okay, like I need to make a spire. Like, how do I make a spire? I can just like elongate something. Cool, that's a spire. I wasn't using
mhm,
textures. I was just like coloring things like very basically, and I was just
mhm.
recreating the composition, like finding out how to do, if I could, how do I make fog or how do I make smoke? I can do a
Yeah,
simulation or I can just bring in a card. Okay, that works. So I just came into it with this like really excited way. So that sounds like kind of what happened to you where you're like, I have my photography is like hit a peak. Now I can drag it
yeah,
into this brand new medium and like give it a whole new depth of like a new pass, a new like life. That's what it sounded like.
yeah, and it's kinda weird because it's like it is because it's like I think when you're in that mode, where you feel like you hit a ceiling, it's almost like looking up, at like a one-way mirror, you know, where like
Mm,
looking at it, you're like, "That's it, that's where the peak is," and then you like break through it, and you can see it all below you, and you're like, "Oh, like that was really easy to like." It wasn't really easy, but it was like it's like looking out like underneath all of it. You're like, "Wow, that was like I had to go through all of that to get right here,
mhm,
right?" And so it's almost like there's this weird like your as your skill grows and your taste delineates into all these little different like ravines of like, you know, interest and passion and whatnot, like you find like it's almost like you're at like a learning stage, right? And it's a pretty relatively straight line because you're just focused on being technically good.
mhm,
And then you let your like imagination go, and then all of a sudden it just starts kind of branching off in all these weird little places, and you're like, I don't know
mhm,
what to do with it. It's just a
mhm.
jarbled mess. And
Yeah.
then there's almost like this weird synchronicity that happens where you find a way to kind of like swirl them back together. And then when you hit that stride a little bit and you're like, this is going really, really good. I'm really loving this, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just like bam, roadblock.
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, like
Yeah.
I'm washed. I'm done. This is
Yeah,
it. I'm
yeah,
done
yeah.
being an artist for my entire life.
Yeah.
And then you talk about glitch machines over a burrito, and
Yeah.
then like your life is like your entire world is shattered, and then you're like, and all of a sudden, like you get past that roadblock, and you're like, oh, it's a straight line again, and I got all these ravines again. So it's
Yeah.
just nonstop, like
Yeah.
these. So
So we're, like
I don't know.
I'm assuming like a lot of the work that you're doing before you found the glitch stuff, it was photography, but it was just like your kind of traditional photography. It
Yeah,
wasn't glitch.
let me see if I can stream from before I was doing it, because I'm just gonna pull up my Instagram because that's the easiest way to do an archive dig,
Sure.
if I'm being so honest with you.
Yeah.
So this is around here is when I first got it, which was, uh, and this is still when I didn't figure out settings on a camera and all that stuff. So,
Mm,
so like when you're photographing a CRT, right, or videotaping a CRT, you can't go above 30th of a second because
mm,
the refresh rate on a camera will start to create this effect.
yeah.
So you
Flickering.
like it's yeah, flickering, and it's kind of shitty. But anyways, this is what my photography was before. Like it was very alternate color work. Like it's thematically pretty consistent with
Yeah.
what I'm doing days, right? Like I don't think like I obviously like looking
Mm,
back on it, I would like edit a lot of these differently.
mm.
But like I first experimented with CRT way back in 2020. God, this is so bad looking back on it, but it's one of those things where it's
It's kinda cool.
like it's cool for what it is, but, like, I think it's just, like I wouldn't say bad, it's just different because 'cause I've grown so much since I made this,
Mhm,
you know, and so it's just kinda cool being like, "Wow." That wasn't glitched, that was just all, like, me doing a ton of color stuff and posts with the CRT, and I
mm.
barely knew what a V-hole did and all that stuff, but, like, it was a lot of stuff at night, so I was doing a lot of night photography, a lot of film. Um, when I worked when I was working at, like, Best Buy
Mm,
for a short while, I would do overnight shifts in the winter,
mm,
and very frequently I would, go out like, we would get off early, and so, like, I would be doing, like, what, 10 to 6 overnight, and
mm,
I get off at, like, sometimes 2 or 3 in the morning because we did all the work that there was to do,
mhm.
and, so I'd go out middle of the night, and, I would just go out shooting stuff kinda like this, like and again, this is
Whoa. That's
not
cool.
revolutionary, not crazy, it's just
No, but
like
it's
but it was
cool.
a very different time. And but this is like I think I took this photo at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm,
Long exposures at night, a lot of that type of
mm.
stuff. I was really chasing fog a lot, and
Yeah.
like my colors are different now. And I think it's especially interesting too because if someone were to really deep dive in my account, right? Like
Dude,
like you could see that like what? Oh, sorry.
just a random thought, chasing fog would be a cool, like, name for something.
Yes, I've tried using that before, actually. I was like, I don't know if I'd make it work." But, like, I was doing a lot of experimenting, here's, like, a
Mm.
pixel art recreation I did, a pseudo of, like, an original like, this is the original
Oh.
photograph, film image, and then I just did a ton of post-processing to it, and I was playing a lot of Hotline Miami at the time,
Mm.
so, like, stuff like that was, like, really big to me. Um, this is when I
I love the
excuse me.
colors.
Yeah, this is when I drove across the country, from Florida to Oregon the first time, and stopped in many, many places. So I was exploring a lot of textures and a lot of like colors in texture. God, Instagram compression is not telling me well, has it? Um, now and like, it gave me an excuse to um, this was the first photo shoot I did like, that really kinda, like, gave way to, like,
Wow.
the type of work I do now, and looking back on
Whoa.
it, it's like, wow, it's so different
It's
than the
so
type of stuff
sick,
I do now,
though.
right?
It's so
Um,
cool.
yeah, and I was photographing people, like, outside their homes because, like, social distancing and all that stuff.
Mm.
And, like, I would change so much about this now, but it's one of those where it's
Hmm.
like, it's just I was just doing a lot of stuff during COVID,
That,
and COVID was kinda like
that, like, character that's, like, slumped is, like, a interesting addition.
Uh, yeah, it was my submission series I was doing, before I knew the fent fold was a thing, so my bad.
Oh.
But, um,
It's funny now that you're see it with
I
that
know,
thought.
I've gotten a lot of that. But, this was, like, what, about, like, 6 years ago?
That's so
God, that's
funny.
crazy.
I didn't think about that until you said it. Now it just made that's why it's
No, it's
making me
really
laugh.
funny. It's like, I was like, "Wow, I was doing the fent fold before it blew up."
It's like a trend.
Oh, no. Oh, cancelable, my bad. But
You're
anyways,
good.
like, like, it was just a lot of stuff at night. I was photographing a lot at night, and then I got into glitch, and it became like and like it's cool because even if you can look at the colors, like my
Yep.
color has gotten a lot better over the years. Like it's a lot more. I use a lot more like I'm very much. It's a lot more dialed in, I should
Mhm,
say.
mhm.
like my most recent post, you
Whoa.
know,
What the hell?
this is like this is an excerpt from my set I did for Enter the Void. I got paired up with my homie Virtual Wound, and we actually opened the entire event, and it was really really fucking cool. Like I made a 35-minute visual set. I made this little dude in Blender like 2 years
Mm,
ago, and I never knew what to do with him.
mm,
And so, and then I decided to actually like, and then I was doing the set, and it kind of fit the theme of it, and I was like, oh shit! And so I
yeah.
pulled it in, like, ditched it out and all this stuff, and it looks really cool, right? And then, just, like, bumps and all that, but
Oh,
it's, like,
okay. Um,
seeing
I just have questions, so I'm just
yeah,
gonna.
you're totally fine, sorry,
Okay.
going on tangent.
Oh man, I just the thing about all of that that's always interesting to me, and this is something I know about you. You've talked about how you get like linked up with different people, and then you like do events and stuff. And
Mhm,
I'm just trying to imagine like you meet up with this guy Peter Clark. You said so you meet up with him, and you learn about the glitch art, and then that elevates your own personal artwork into like this new dimension. But
mhm.
how are you then also getting in contact with people to do events? Like, were you already doing that kind of stuff? Were you already in that world, in that scene?
There's a mix so I'm very forward, and not in the forward in the sense of, like, I'm pushy or annoying, but, like, I when I like art, someone's art, I tell them,
Mm,
and I think that I mean, literally that gets you in so many places because it's like if there's anyone out there whose art I like at all, like I'll follow them, and then if they have something I think is cool, I'll comment,
mm,
and it's like it really does just start with like even reaching out. Like sometimes I would cold DM people and be like, "Hey, I really like your stuff. Um, obviously no obligation to, and you can tell me to f off if I'm being annoying, but
mm.
like I would if a collab would be open or like I want to pick your brain about how you made this.
Yeah.
Approach it just a very honest and open be like let your curiosity guide you, and I think you'll find yourself in a lot more places than
Mm,
you thought you would have otherwise. Like I think that organic networking and letting your taste and your curiosity like put you in connection with people that who you genuinely find interesting, and you
yeah.
find the thing they make interesting,
Yeah.
that is going to open a giant network for you, right? And like
Yeah.
so
Yeah. True.
I was making the glitch stuff, and so it actually started. So it's crazy actually thinking back on how I ended up doing the most recent set, because like I'm connected with a few of the people at Villain now, which is like the underground label that puts on the whole event.
Mm,
And I have quite a few homies there that like have are a part of the production team for them. And how it really went, how I ended up like hanging out with them I had a friend who used to do sets for a guy that was used to be on their production team who had his own events.
mm.
And I this guy was following me already. He followed me 2021, 2020, and so he random follow, like super like out of nowhere. And um and there was a vaporwave festival happening in New York at Knockdown Center, Electronicon 2, I think.
Cool.
And it was George Clanton's vaporwave festival that he held. And so I bought my tickets and I was going, and I saw that the guy, like, cuz we followed each other, and my friend Leo. And I was like, "Hey, like, we're like he's like, "I'm going too. We should meet up," right?
Mm,
And it was super cool cuz like, he was in Texas and I was in Florida at the time.
mm,
And so I went up to New York for that weekend, and I spent the entire time hanging out with him pretty much. And I got to meet him and his homies that have done sets for this label, and like they have a ton of connections, and like I got to meet like some of like I was super into vaporwave at the time, so
yeah.
I got to meet like Picture Plane and like Nmesh. I photographed like Luxury Elite, like all the kind of like these vaporwave like kind of legends more
Cool.
so, and I was super
Cool.
excited to like meet these people and talk to them, and like, and then I was realizing that like, oh wait, you guys are like all connected,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and so Leo and I like really like strengthened our relationship during that event. And then he put me on, and he's like, "Hey, you should," because I was making a lot of music and stuff at this time,
Mm,
and so he's like, "You should submit your music to this online event, this live stream event that's like 3 days long."
mm,
I'm like, "Cool, yeah." And so I actually originally started by submitting my music to an event called Helios that is
Mm,
no longer that's not being put on anymore.
mm,
And I got paired up with a guy who did my visuals, and we
mm,
did the set, and it was awesome. But like I had a lot of people that like reached out to me, and they're like, "Dude, your stuff is awesome. I really love it."
mm.
Um, and for me, it's the same thing. Like I would watch other people set, and I would follow them and be like, "Dude, that was dope," right?
Yeah.
And and then more or less, and it's just like through like putting yourself out there, like taking opportunities when you see them, and not taking them as an opportunist, but like seeing where it's like, hey, this is probably a good time to like say how much I liked this thing you do, right?
Yeah.
But also, like it's important to conduct yourself in a way that's like being who you are is really really important.
Sure.
And I like to believe that I present myself very much as how I am.
Mhm,
And I don't like try to really put on like a giant facade as like an artist or whatever.
mhm,
And so like when you talk to me, I like to believe that you're getting a very kind of honest interpretation of who I am.
mhm.
And so like with a lot of the artists I was working with, or I was meeting, it was just it was camaraderie. It wasn't
Cool.
like me trying to be like chauvinistic or self-aggrandize or anything. I was very much being like, hey, like I would love to make something with you, or I love this thing you did. And then
Yeah.
word of mouth spreads.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
and then like and then you get people who want to hang out with you, or not hang out, but like make stuff with you, or
Mm.
like ask how you do things. And your network grows like very like organically
Yeah.
when you put yourself out there and then let opportunity meet you halfway.
Gotcha.
Um,
So I think
so
it's
and that's been my experience, I should say.
yeah.
Um, so
Okay, so it sounds a little bit of like being like really honest about what you like and then go to
yes,
places or network events or conferences or shows or whatever
yeah,
that or
yeah,
festivals that like are in that niche specifically because you'll just find
yeah,
like way more
and I
people that are into what you're instead of going to like instead of just going because I know like when I try to go to cons or conferences um
mhm,
I always like, "Oh, I like comic books. I guess I'll go to Comic-Con." And it's just like those are so gigantic now that you don't it's just it's hard to find like your specific people because like everybody goes there. Or if you want to reach out to an artist, you're like, "Oh, this person has like a lot of followers or their work is cool.
yeah,
I'll reach out to them." And then they like never get back to you because what
buried in
do
DMs,
you
right?
yeah, but also like what exactly about them do you like or is it just because
Yeah,
they're big? Like, are you going to this conference because it has a lot of
yeah.
people, or are you reaching out to this person because they're big, or is it because it's this very specific thing about what they do that you? Because I think reaching out to people is also, especially with social media, it's a little complicated. Like I'll
Yes, it's very
sometimes,
complicated.
I've had people reach out to me. Obviously, way more happens when after I've like gone viral and all this crap, and they'll reach out to me to just be like, hey, and like, what do you I don't yes, like, what
I
do you want?
like
Like
yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, how much do you charge?" And it's like, those are the kind of questions I've gotten those over the years as freelancing where it's like, this person doesn't know what I do. They have no idea what they want. I'm just not even gonna entertain this. I used to get those questions before I had like 80K followers and then after, but I do also like I have also been in a position where I reach out to somebody who's big, who's a big artist, and I'm just like, can I pick your brain? Because picking your brain is like a thing that you say, and then they'd be like, yeah, sure. Like, what do you want to know? And I'm like, um, what's your favorite artwork that you? And it's just like I don't really even know what I want to know from them. I just know I have to
Yeah.
ask questions to artists. Like there's like kind of what you're saying is like build a network, do this thing, and it's like, how do you actually? What if I'm socially
So
awkward? You know what I mean? Like, what if I don't
yeah,
know
I
what
think that's
conference I need to go to? What if I don't even know
yeah,
my
that's
own
true.
work?
I think what it is, so like, so preface, like I didn't go to that vaporwave festival thing as like me being like, I'm gonna go meet a ton of people, I'm gonna network and sell myself, right?
Mhm.
Like I went to it as like I'm genuinely a fan, and I'm going to be surrounded by like other people who are interested in the same things I am,
You also went
and
there
like
as a
whatever happens.
music artist, not as a creative like glitch video artist.
I was doing glitch at the time, and yeah, like it was a lot more music stuff, and I think yeah, but like music was my main focus at the time,
Mhm.
and like, but I wasn't going to like, give them like a flash drive with my music on or something. I was going because I was like, I want to go see these artists like I listen to and
Yeah.
hang out with people who are like me.
Yeah.
And I think when you're so even like as my social awkwardness has kind of really worn off a whole lot because I really did force myself a lot to just go and do things and it really sucked at first because it was like it is a skill that you do build
Yeah.
um but and even then I still get in my head sometimes but like I think it's a lot more of a seamless transition when you take yourself out into an event or a thing that is around that you know where there's going to be more people who are like you.
Mhm.
And when it's harder when you go to something like a bigger con or like a networking event or whatever because like the idea of especially like networking events right where it's
Mhm.
like I'm going to sell myself
Yeah.
like I'm going because I'm here to just meet people
Yeah.
and like that the premise of going feels very superficial whereas like if you were to find whatever your own version I mean even if your city has something being put on or like if you need to fly to the next state over to just spend a weekend that has like this kind of dumb little weird small event going
Yeah.
on like I urge anyone who's listening who's like has that idea, like you go do it because it's like if you feel attracted to go to this thing and have like that connection with those people around you are gonna be it's gonna be so much more organic
Mhm.
than like a networking conference
Yeah.
or like anywhere that's like designed to be like for the sake of like like networking
Mhm.
like those are business terms but like genuinely the people I work with I consider my friends
Yeah.
like I don't view them as like like this is my business acquaintance or like this is my person I've
Business
just done work
partner.
with
Yeah.
my business partner or whatever like, I view them like I'm making things with people I would want to hang around with and be with
Mhm.
and it's like the connections I form with them have been very organic right and so like I think that's a really important thing is to um like social awkwardness is a really hard thing to fight. Like it's a very difficult thing to
Yeah.
work through. It's really hard being a person in a big room and you kind of feel like everyone's looking at you and you think like the way you move your arm kind of funny and someone's gonna laugh at it, right? Like it's just small
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
I think also when you're
It's
younger, like when you're younger, it's
yeah
even harder. And like there's like this thing when you're in high school, college, or like right after college where there's like it feels like there's no time, there's not enough time. So
yes
you have to be working as a
you have to prove
professional
yourself.
like right away.
Yeah,
And there's all this like not only do you have a lot of drive, but there's also a lot of like pressure. There's just it just feels like you just put a lot of pressure on yourself. And like
you
I'm
do.
speaking just from experience when I would go to a conference and then I would see like my favorite artist that I've been following forever that I've never been able to talk to and they're right there. And like one person is talking to them and then I come up to them and then suddenly I have their attention and just having their attention is already like I freeze because like this is an
Yes,
artist. I
yes,
just all I can say is like I really like your work's really good. I just think it's really good and like yeah and like I don't even have a question. I just want to tell you I like your work and they're like oh thanks and you're like "Oh, okay." And then like sometimes I would just walk away after that because I really that's overwhelming for me. I don't have anything left to say. I just need to go and like recover. But
yeah.
other times I would be able to like muster up some kind of question like oh what's your favorite color to use or something. But I think there's also like I don't know. It's like what you're saying about like you've worn off the social awkwardness through just constantly putting yourself in that situation. Like
Exposure therapy pretty much.
exactly, yeah, like exposure therapy, and
Yeah, it sucks, dude. Like
that just kind of comes with time. It's like I don't know how
it
old you
does.
are, but
Be 26 in 2 months.
yeah, I'm like I just hit 34. It's crazy, but like I've also feel like I've worn off that social awkwardness, and I still sometimes still get it in my own head.
Mhm.
But at the same
Yeah, I'm the
time,
same way.
I can remember just being at conferences. I don't want to say I was too young to be there, but I was like too fresh, and I didn't know what
Yeah.
kind of work I wanted to make. I didn't know what kind of questions to ask when I had the opportunity to ask questions, or I didn't even know how to network. I just knew I needed to network. Like you just know these words, but you don't really know what they mean to you or why they're it's like you need to network, you need
Yeah.
to build a community, you need to be on socials, you need to like you need to ask
Yeah, you
questions and learn about other artists' process, and you're like, "I don't even know what my process is, and I don't even know
I
what
think
to ask." And that's just like yeah, like, if you do it too early, it's gonna feel awkward and you're not gonna know what's going on, but there is a beauty in, like, eventually you kind of find your stride and you find out what you really like. You find the conferences that you like. Because I've been to a lot of conferences that are small, that are in my area, that are in some hotel. And I don't sell a single print, but I'm there with like my cousin. We just have a funny story about like the lady that was like live grinding some kind of thing in the corner. It was like,
yeah.
making a mess in the whole thing. So we just like, you sometimes go to a thing expecting to network and you don't really network, but you meet a cool person or you have a cool story and like it's just kind of
That's
it
what it's about,
helps.
dude.
Yeah.
And genuinely, that's what I think that's what it's about. And but before I get into that, like I wanted to say um, like for me, like when I like if I cold DM someone or cold like email or whatever, right? When I want to connect with someone, and I know that like probably trying to convey things to them as um like when you if you overgeneralize your question about like something they did that you find interesting, they're probably gonna be like, well, what do I have to talk to you about?
What's like an example of
Um,
that? Can you just say
and
example?
yeah, yeah. So like what we were saying earlier, where you have someone that gets in your DMs, and you're like, hey, that's cool, and you're
Yeah.
like,
I have a question.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question, and it's like, okay, ask it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
so, um, but like I think that like in my experience, I've always gotten better results when like I pick a certain piece that I actually genuinely really like, and I'm like I send it to them like, hey, how'd you do? Like this thing, and this thing, right? And
Mhm.
I'll like I kind of I'll yap about it as if anyone who's listening has gathered from me by now, and you included. Sorry, but like I'll respond. I'll like send them their post and be like, I want to know how you made this. Like, and even ask them like an enticing question like, did you use this process or did you use this software or whatever, right?
Mhm.
Like give them um it, almost like give them a hook, right? Like give them like a reason to respond to you. Because it's like if you say like, hey, I have a question, how'd you make that? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of a lot. Like, what
Yeah,
part of it do you
God.
want to know?
Mhm.
And instead of like, it's like, hey, I want to know how you did this specific thing. I
Mhm.
think you made it this way. Did you do it that way?
That's what
That's the way you do it.
I love doing that with other people's work, even without telling them. Like, that's just like
Yeah,
a fun exercise as an artist I like to do is I like to look at something in 3D and be like, I think that's a photo.
deconstruct it.
I think that's a photo texture. I think that's a photo scan, or like I think this was
Yeah,
done with Marvelous or whatever. And or I think, I like looking at artwork and like trying to deconstruct how it was done, but also there's a bit of like a patting myself on the back kind of thing sometimes when I just in someone's comments I'm like, "Did you use this method or this whatever modifier thing?" And then they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." Like cool.
yeah,
Like I feel like I understood their artwork on like a level
yes.
that's kind of like more technical and that's always fun.
And it's cool because it's like you now, like I. It's also about consistency. Like, if there's, I don't want to be like, don't force yourself into someone's life if it's very obvious that the relationship isn't organic,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Because it's really important to like not pester someone. I maybe pester is a bad term, but like don't annoy someone if it's very obvious that like they don't want to have that relationship with you. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Also,
And
you
even if
can
it's
kind of see in a conversation when it's just like if you ask something and they're like, "Yeah," and then you can just kind of drop it there. Like unless they
yeah,
follow up, it's kind of just like social dynamics, but like if
yes, yeah,
especially with chat, it's hard to tell if somebody's
it's a
really
lot more trivial.
yeah, because like sometimes I'll say like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt. Like, where'd you get it or whatever?" And then they'll tell me and I'm like, "All right, cool." But then if they open up the conversation further. I know this feels like we're talking about like how to just talk online, but it is a part of like networking, especially with
Yeah, it
artists.
is. It,
Artists are like socially awkward. They don't know
yes, they are.
themselves. They don't know like what they want to do. They're just like I think you just constantly feel like it's not enough whatever you're doing or you're always behind your peers. That's what it also feels like that. So there's like this constant pressure like I need to catch up. I'm like what I just did even though it's a success not good enough. Like it needs to be better. So I feel like within all of that, you're like trying to be normal, you're trying to be stable, you're trying to like be cool, you're trying to be nonchalant or whatever it is. And it's just like
Yeah,
so
and
it's like so
honestly,
many things that you're trying to like keep a lid on and other ththings you're trying to take the lid off. Yeah. I don't know.
and my only counterpoint also would be like stop being nonchalant. Be as chalant as much as you can, bro. It is cool to be nerdy. It is
Yeah, of
cool to be
course.
geeky. It's cool to be passionate about what you're into.
Yeah, but you don't want to
And
like
it's
freak
people.
somebody out when you're like
Yeah,
obsessed with
that's
them.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. So don't obsess over the person. Obsess over obsess over the medium and find a way to bond over it.
Yeah.
Because like that is where the real key is. Because
True.
like it's people don't like it when you're obsessive about like them, or sorry, artists don't really like it when you're obsessive about like them, like their
Mhm.
ego,
Mhm.
and they don't like it when like you aren't. It seems like you aren't interested, unless like they
Mhm.
because really what it is you want to meet them on a level where it's like we both care about the same thing. And
Yeah.
again, that it has to be organic. You
Yeah.
can't be like you can't fake being into this thing because the cracks will show instantly.
I think it's
You know, like
interesting because like fan art is a really great way, a great like bridge to exactly what you're saying. Like me doing the
yeah,
Akira stuff was like I'm a fan of Akira, like I love it. But then me doing the artwork for that fandom brought like so many more people into my world that were fans of that fandom that were like, dude, I love
yes,
Akira. Check out this anime. Check out Blame. Like all these other things. And then we're not talking about me. We're not exactly even talking about my artwork. We're just talking about this thing that we both really like.
you
So
get geek out over
yeah, like in a
it.
way,
You
like
know,
if you want to, like a good kind of shortcut to that is to just make fan art, not for the not
hmm
like, disregard whatever like things you have like oh fan art it's like somebody else's IP I'm just making it's not my own original thing it's like it's not for that it's for building like a good network
community.
yeah a community
Yeah.
around like like-minded things and I think that's a really great I never thought about it actually like that like until just this conversation but yeah like making fan art is a really great way to invite people or learn how to look past the artist and past the artwork into like what the artwork is about and because it's like if I show you something I did like the neon genesis evangelion stuff when
Mhm.
you see that it's like it's not about me it's not about how I rendered it or all the technical stuff it's about just we're both fans of it that's so cool and then
Yeah.
we can kind of
Yeah,
like
we love it so
cross
much.
on that
Like,
yeah
it's not and it's like not every piece has to be, some giant, like, think piece statement. Like, sometimes it's just cool to make like, I mean, literally, it's like part of making art is just like I'm making shit I find cool,
yeah
and like it comes from a place internally that like I love doing it and I love the thing I'm making.
yeah
And whether it be an original piece or NGE or whatever, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Like it's like it's also like an attempt to like, like find community and make connection over it. And I
Yeah,
think that's the most like I think finding community in art is like the most important thing an artist can have
yeah.
is the community. Like literally like
Honestly, that's
once
so
you have
true.
like to me like when I found like people in the glitch community and people in like the who are like a part of villain and stuff like I felt like I was at home, right? I felt like
Yeah,
I feel so comfortable around these people and like sharing like the things I make with them.
and it's that,
And
like,
like
freedom to nerd out.
yeah, and it's like it's really cool that because like I can talk about like yeah my tachyons my optic glitch is doing this.
Tachyon.
Yeah, yeah, you need like the my module's doing this weird thing.
Yeah,
and
it's not
he's like
modulating enough.
yeah, it's not modulating enough, and, like, sometimes, like, geek out and be like, "Oh, yeah, mine does this too," and, like, I worked around it this way, and it's so weird because it's, like, 99 point like, 8%, let's be generous, of people don't know what the fuck we're talking
Yeah,
about, you
yeah,
know? And
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like somehow I found someone who lives in, like, God, I don't know, Minnesota or something that knows, like, oh, it's like, "Oh, you should put your tape on, like, that button and then
Mm.
twist this knob and blah, blah, blah."
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, that fixed it," right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's the funniest thing where it's like,
yeah.
the community is so, like, you can be so far apart, right?
Mhm.
But we're still, like, so, like,
Yeah,
there's still, like, this bond that you have.
yeah.
And
I
so,
think that's what makes
I'm
the online
forever
part of
grateful
it
for that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
I think that's what makes the online part of it so, like, I feel like that's why some of the friends you make online are so much stronger is because
Yes.
there's like the internet is what bridges like two highly nerdy people about two like a very specific thing together
Mhm.
and then they're like oh wow, like someone else I can really like freak out with my nerdiness, and then they're not scared by it. They're not off put by it. They're not like, they're validating it actually. They're actually giving me value, and I feel some type of
Mm.
like appreciation for my very deep knowledge about this very obscure thing that I can't really share with anyone, or that everyone else is kind of bored hearing about.
Mm.
Um anyway, dude, I wanted to kind of jump into maybe you showing some stuff.
If you saw my desktop and like how my drive is organized, you'd be like, dude,
Are
come
you
on.
are you ever terrified of just like, oh no, what if like my desk burns or like I have a house fire? Like, am I screwed? Are you screwed? How
Um,
screwed are you if your office burns down?
if my office burns down, I'm probably about, oh man, because I have I have three backup hard drives,
Everything
externals.
burns and your office is gone, eviscerated, like Thanos snapped. How screwed? I mean, on an
Oh, I'm
emotional
screwed.
level, obviously, like destroyed, but like how?
I think I'm screwed. I'd be at square one because like right in a 3 feet vicinity, I have my entire studio,
Yeah.
like more or less.
Is
And
that
so
is that how does that I feel like I don't know. It's like on one level I would lose sleep over that, but on another level it's kind of like I welcome it in a weird fucking weird way. I like welcome
I'm
everything
gonna,
being deleted so
knock
then I can restart.
knock on wood because I've put more money than I would ever care to admit into this, but um, you know, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
I've experienced worse in my life, so like, if that were to happen, I know I'd be able to bounce back. It would just take time, and I just have to be patient with myself.
Mhm.
Um,
You still have your
it,
skill. You still have your ability to make your
yeah,
to shoot.
the soft stuff is there.
Yeah.
So I do also have like an image. Um, I can glitch out
Okay.
live too
Yeah.
if you want me to show you that. Okay, let me
Yeah,
turn this
let's
on.
just go into that.
Actually, yeah. So let's start first with me showing you the glitch stuff. So I'll show just I'll switch over to my phone. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you?
Can you
Okay.
turn your phone like portrait or landscape?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip me around. So before we get into it, I have to turn my lights off because these are CRTs and the glass does reflect.
Mm.
So this is dry signal, right? So basically, this is what's coming straight. Sorry, this is dry signal. So this is what's coming straight into the CRT. And how I have it wired up is I have my PC hooked up, and this is basically my second monitor. So I can
Mm.
F11, and I can drag out, and so I can even put Discord back over here or whatever,
Mm.
right? So
Cool.
like I can do whatever I want on this monitor. So it's very very open and free that way.
How is it
Just using
connected to? Is it like an HDMI cable or like some kind of like
Yeah, so it's a just
converter?
converters. So
Mm.
I have an older, not older, I have a 2060, and so I actually have to use uh, a PC cable out to HDMI, and then HDMI to an RCA out,
Mm.
and then RCA connects through the glitch devices right here, right?
Mhm.
So RCA plugs into this, then routes through this, and then it goes into this.
Okay.
And I also just picked this up, which I have a cable sending out from this monitor up to this one. So I'm getting a mirrored image right up here, which you'll see in just a second, right?
Ooh, I like how it loads in
So
like that.
yeah, it's turning on. So now we have the same image, and it'll give slightly different signals
Mhm.
depending on what I put into it. So I'm going to turn this knob over, and I'm going to hit my bypass button, and then you're already going to see glitch effects start happening,
So
right?
that like that interface on the right that you have your hand on, is that the main thing that can glitch out like this
No,
like if
these both can glitch out.
okay.
Um,
So like if you
this is
were
just
I just
a big button.
if this was just connected to like a regular Dell monitor or something, would you still be able to get these glitch effects?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Like if this you're looking through a CRT or like a PVM or whatever, but if this monitor was just like a Dell monitor or like some BenQ thing, would you still be able to get the same glitch
No,
effects?
not with these modules specifically. No,
Oh, okay.
because these are RCA, and it's actually physically manipulating the signal that's going through the boards in these
Oh, so it's
CRTs.
messing with the actual
Um,
like the monitor like
yes,
hardware.
yeah, it actually is messing with the signal that's being output
Oh,
through the boards,
snap.
and it's manipulating the signal.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's reprocessing. So, and sometimes you get, dropout and stuff like that. But the process of how this goes, right? It's kind of finicky, and you're seeing it actually even hold a little bit better up here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so the way I would work is I would sit here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just do a little mock up of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I would sit here and I will photograph the CRT. Um,
A DSLR or something?
yeah, I have my DSLR here, and it's not exactly synced up, right? But sorry, finger. I would
Yeah.
photograph the CRT, and I would do anywhere between 30th of a second and under, depending on what effects I wanted. Obviously, if I was doing 30 for the second, I would want something that I wanted to try and preserve
Mm-hmm.
as many of the scan lines and the colors here. But if I was doing longer exposures, it all kind of blurred together. There's a lot you can do with that, a lot of experimentation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like a lot of it is really just playing around
What are
with
you
the
turning
knobs and
right
seeing
now?
what
Like, show your hands.
these knobs right here.
Okay.
So all I'm doing, so like each knob has a different effect, and they're not labeled. They don't have anything to do. They just manipulate different parts of the boards insides of
Mm.
these. And originally, these are boards or modules that were used for very simple things like changing the amount of red,
Mm.
saturation. This was a burst, hue, and chroma. So basically, brightness. I think this is luma.
Cool.
And this is obviously hue effect. And these still work to a degree. They're very kind of temperamental. But
Yeah.
this is where all the magic comes in. Um,
So
and so
is this all hardware that like originally when like these monitors were being used in broadcast stations and these interfaces that you have in front of you that you're like manipulating, were they all I'm guessing they weren't originally designed to do this kind of stuff. They were designed to actually fix this kind
no,
of stuff.
yeah, they were meant for a much more technical and straightforward process. Whereas like if there were any aberrations color wise or
You would like
anything that was done,
you're trying
they
to
would
like
go
remove
in.
it.
This was Premiere. This was Photoshop before it existed, basically for like video and stuff.
But you mean that in the
Um,
sense that it was
but
used like the way Photoshop is designed to like touch up photos to make them look better, now we're using it to like
yes,
destroy photos and make them look worse, like
yes.
quote unquote
So these are
worse.
these things that were originally meant to preserve and make an image look perfect on video are
Mm.
now being used and circuit bent to like destroy
Dude, that's
images and like
crazy.
manipulate them.
That's so like
Um,
awesome to me. It's like it's just dude, come on. That's like so ironic. That there's an
yeah, and
entire like industry and like creative community around like destroying shit.
yes, and it's really cool, dude. It's amazing because it's growing every day, and I still meet new people, and it's really honestly a beautiful thing. Um, and so and you're gonna see dropout and stuff, but like a lot of this really is like you sit here and play with buttons and knobs, and
Is
you just kind of like wait.
i-
Yeah.
is there any risk to like destroying the internal components of the monitor like beyond
No,
okay.
no, these things have so much power that they can handle so much power running through them that it doesn't matter
Oh.
genuinely. And what's amazing about CRT about this specifically, because again, this is all analog signal, right? Like
Mhm.
only thing that's actually being coming through is the digital image from my CRT or
Mhm.
sorry, my PC.
Mm.
Um, but like this is all analog signal. And so what's amazing about the glitch machines is that depending on what TV you have plugged in, the effects will be different. So like these modules, I can chain them back up and put them through the other monitor I have,
Mhm.
right? And I'll get a completely different effect on that monitor. And so like sometimes like let's see if I can get a VSync D hold, right?
What is a
Let's go
VSync
super.
D hold?
So VSync hold. So VSync is just vertical sync. So
Okay.
if I can get it to do it, um,
Is that like the line going up and down?
yes, it's when it
Scanning.
starts flickering, going up
Mm.
on itself, and I'm trying to get it to do it. If I can find it somewhere.
Why don't
No, it doesn't
why
want to.
don't you have them labeled?
What do you mean?
The knobs?
Because they don't really. I can't tell what each like I can't tell you what each knob distinctly does. I only know that like this knob and this knob have big effects,
Okay.
and but like this knob only sometimes has an effect when like this knob is on or I think this knob is on, but like not if these knobs are on. So it's like they all bounce off each other, and so literally it really is kind of just sitting here playing with knobs until you get something where you're like, wow, that looks really interesting,
Hmm.
and like it. a lot of it's messy, a lot of it's noisy, but what the great thing is that like I can sit here, right? And not lined up, not focused, but like I can photograph the image. And let
Mhm.
me just like focus because
Yeah.
what's really amazing about doing this, because when you get an image that's like super lined up, right? Um, and it's very sharp, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm gonna make this not look poopy. Oh, there it is. So you see
Oh,
that? How it's doing that? But
weird.
it's not doing it on that monitor,
Yeah.
even though it's the exact same signals being sent through.
Oh, weird.
Um, so let's just put this on, zero this out, and turn you on.
Is there like a
Right. So
software that's like tracking I don't know, like my question I guess my question is like let's say you wanted to have a preset of glitch effects. So like first labeling the controls might help you like know like how what percentage
there
to
are
turn this one and that one or is there software that tracks this
knob
stuff?
maps that people make.
Okay.
So the community has made printable sheets
Yeah.
um, that basically have the layouts of these
Yeah.
or whatever module you have, and you can print them off, and you just draw like I put
Mhm.
this one at 90 or
Mm.
whatever, right?
Mm.
Or
Mm.
you draw a line,
Mhm.
and then they oftentimes you can include sample images with it.
Okay, cool. So you
Um,
can actually make
so
presets and like let people and like create guides on like how to get certain effects.
yes, you can.
That's
It's
cool.
very arduous and it does take time.
I bet.
Um, but but let me just try and get an image because if I can get an image blown up for you. Hold on, I'm putting the phone down because I can see how fast I can get this into Lightroom, right?
Okay.
But what's amazing about this stuff, sorry,
Mm.
it's not focused at all. But
Whoa.
there's so much detail when you
A lot of
zoom in,
texture,
right?
yeah.
A lot of texture, a lot of texture. Um, and so it's just really nice to like be able to sit here because I could just sit here and like do this stuff
Mhm.
for hours. I mean, even if you're not making anything that's inherently like work related or cool, or I
Yeah.
mean, it is always cool to me, but like not inherently like work related. Like this is just like a fun tool to have.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about it. To kind of circle back around with like my idea of how I work with them is I tried making work that makes the glitch contextually relevant. Um, I think it's very easy to use the glitch, the CRTs, as a way to make an image look pretty.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't think it adds anything to an image. Sometimes, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, and so I always think about like, at what angle can I incorporate the glitch image into maybe like because I do a lot of compositing. Like there are
Mhm.
times where like my Photoshop documents sometimes will have four, five, six glitch images compiled into one with a whole bunch of
Mm.
different layer adjustments and whatnot.
Mm.
Um, and so it's like you're I try to make it where like I want the glitch to be relevant to a piece if I'm trying to say something,
Gotcha.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to just like sometimes slap a filter
Mhm.
on it and be like, look at this really pretty thing. And sometimes that's what it
Yeah,
is. But
yeah.
I never try to like pretend that it's more than just like a really pretty photo,
Yeah.
you know? But that is the ethos of creation, or the whole, I guess, like a mindset of creating something is that sometimes you don't not everything has to be a statement piece
Yeah,
or
yeah.
have some sort of deep meaning. It's like you just want to make things. But yeah, so that was a very very rough
That was cool to
synopsis
see.
of what it does. And like I said, you could pull so many effects out of it, and you could spend. I mean, there's still new things I'm finding.
Yeah.
Like even with these two modules alone.
What are those 2
Um,
modules called? Like, what is each of them called?
so yeah, what? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a Tachyons Plus Optic Glitch. Okay,
Mhm.
this is I had this. He custom makes them. He's based out of Jacksonville. Yeah, and so I had this one made 2023. He did the custom paint job on it. I had these colors of knobs put on it, and he did the splatter.
How much
And
does
this is
something
a
like that like, how much did this stuff, like,
so
cost?
this ran me, mind you, this was a few years ago, so it might be more now, but I think this
Mhm.
is 550, I believe,
Okay.
for 500.
Mhm.
And this was a little cheaper. This is a BPMC Video Nasty, but this is the first iteration. He doesn't make these versions anymore.
Mm.
And he makes new ones of second version, but with knobs instead of magnetic tacks.
Oh, interesting.
Um, and so I'll show you what those do in a second. But this was my first glitch machine. This was the first one I bought. This is like what I did everything off of for a long time, and then I bought this about a year and a half later.
Okay.
And so I had this one first, but these tacks manipulate the image to be a little bit different. So these are neodymium magnets, and so if
Mm.
I move this one, it's going to give a different effect here
I've
than it would if I put it
seen I've
on this tack.
I've seen like YouTube videos of people putting magnets up to like old TVs and it just freaks them the hell out.
Yes, and what's really cool is that these monitors, this one doesn't have it, but a
Yeah.
lot of them have a thing called a degaussing mode or degauss mode,
Can you try
and
turning your phone
basically,
like portrait or landscape
I'm
again?
so-
I just want to. Okay, there we go.
there
Cool,
we go,
cool. Got it.
there we go. Now, so I
Hmm.
apologize.
No, you're
Um,
good.
but the degaussing mode, so like if you were to, if I, I'm not going to, but if I were
Hmm.
to put this magnet like up to that CRT,
Mm.
it would start to warp the image, right? If I wanted
Mm.
to like put it right here,
Hmm.
but this degauss, if I press that button, it would correct it right there, because
Mm.
there's a way that you can correct it, but it's a lot more manual and kind of finicky.
Oh, cool.
um, it has a lot to do with like polarities, like magnet polarities and whatnot. I'm not a
Okay.
scientist to tell
Yeah,
you
no, yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. That's interesting. So
uh,
just having those two modules and having a PVM like that would just be like all you need to get into like glitch video art.
you can even do a lot more you can do more with a lot less too. I This is like the culmination of like me growing my glitch studio. Like I have another CRT in the other room, which was a lot cheaper, and it was a consumer model. So this
Mhm.
is like the one you would actually see in like people's
Yeah,
houses.
yeah.
And that actually has a true flat screen edge to edge. So it's actually a lot easier to record with a camera.
It's not like
Um,
warping.
these have a these have a slight bulb out. Like these are slightly spherical, very
Mhm.
very very slight. So it's not that bad. But that one is true flat.
That's cool.
And then you can get into, huh?
No, that's cool. That's cool. I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
cool.
And so, you can get into like the way that image works on a flat plane, but that's nerd talk. I think though, like this is maybe me over the last 4 years, like really like figuring out what it is I want,
Mhm.
and like upgrading my setup a
Mhm.
lot. And so, um, like this was, if you can afford a PVM, right, or a BVM or
How much
whatever,
does a
right, because they
PVM
are very.
cost usually? Like out there?
So I got lucky. I got lucky with these monitors. The big one I got for $100. They can resell online for about 400, 500.
Mm, wow.
Um, this one up here, the small one, actually cost me 350, and I think
Wow.
it sells for about that much.
Mm.
But some PVMs, like if you want to get like a 13-inch, like a really fancy 13-inch one, you'll probably be looking at about 850, 900 now, because the market on those is pretty
Do you
nuts.
buy them like on
Um,
eBay or something, or is there specific websites
Basic
that make them?
marketplace.
Oh, so you just gotta
I
look
have a
for them.
guy. I have a guy out here that I actually bought both of these. I bought both these CRTs from the same dude, and just he is like a CRT fanatic. He's very much like, I want the most perfect image out of every single one I have.
Mm.
Um, and sometimes there's like weird things he doesn't like about these models, and so he sold the big one for $100. And I'm like, that's crazy, you're selling it for this much. He's
Yeah.
like, I know, I just don't want it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I scored on that, and I scored on this new one pretty recently.
That's cool.
um and so it's like, look, if you're looking to get into it, first of all, tons of people give them out. It's constantly search Facebook Marketplace. Like, especially the trick is, if you look up old TV or box TV, don't look up
Mm.
CRT, because that's
Mm.
where all the resellers are.
Mm.
um but if you get old TV or box TV, you're going to get like kind of the boomers and like the older generation who just want to get rid of their box TV,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And so they'll sell it for like $20 or whatever, or
Cool.
even free.
Yeah, nice.
And CRTs are so resilient that, like, people, I've seen so many stories of people picking one up off the side of the road that's like covered in gunk and all this stuff, and they clean it up and it boots right up, because
Wow.
they're such amazing machines. And
Mhm.
like, I won't get into it, but the story of like how like CRTs even became to exist is just like nothing short of, kind of feels like magic a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah, that's
So,
cool.
um, but
So,
yeah, so glitch art is definitely one of the coolest things I think you can do with these
it
things.
definitely feels cool, especially if it's like it's kinda random, but it's also, like, right there, like, it's like you have your hands in
Mhm.
the guts of the thing that's, like, how it's
You're physical.
working.
It's physical.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
it's
very
cool.
tangible, and I think that really, um,
for me, I'm a very hands-on person, and so I think it's really cool to be able to like see the way that like even like the if I put my finger on like the magnetic tacks
Mhm.
on my machine, it'll manipulate the signal. Like the fact that like the electricity that's running through my body can like go through the
That's
module
really
that I'm
cool.
using to distort an image and make the art is like really it's like that's a really cool to
Yeah,
me.
it's cool. It's, like,
Um,
very, very hands-on.
and very physical, very
So,
tangible.
are we waiting for
So
something, like, for the image to upload or something, or
yeah, let me see. It came up. There we go. Let's do the glitch long, and then oh cool, it's actually just the glitch itself. So let's download it. Um,
are you downloading, like, the picture that you just took of the guy? Or what are you downloading?
I'm gonna upload that while this is downloading. Sorry, I got into a tangent about the CRTs. So that's going,
Can you
and then I'm
I'm
gonna
I'm
upload
actually
it.
curious, this is kind of, like, unrelated to everything, but kinda related to
You're
you.
talking.
What is your what's your situation like, just, like, on a personal level? Like, are you living on your own? How are you affording to, like, do what you
So
do? Like, what's your situation like that like?
I'm actually living at home right now. I moved back in after my mom passed away a couple years ago.
Mhm.
Um, and it was just a time where like I needed to be back with my dad,
I get that.
and so it's and like we my then partner at the time and I we were planning on moving back to Oregon anyways. But then my mom's passing kind of sped up that timeline,
Mm.
and then in the near future we'll be back on my own again. Um,
I'm curious always about how artists are able to make art, or like, because obviously, like, there's a whole other side to a person who makes artwork outside of just what they post. And so I
right,
love that
there's a
you
whole
have
person
this.
behind the thing.
Yeah, like, I love that you have this CRT glitch thing, and you're getting to do that. But I'm also curious about, like, like, does it make you money? Is it your full-time thing? Like, do you just do
It
it as
has
a
before. It
hobby?
doesn't make me. I have a full time day job, and I will make money off of photo and video sometimes. And I think it's because, and that's partly by choice, because like I know that I probably could make a lot of money off of this if I really wanted to, if I really like actually applied myself. But I also know that I also like I love it too much to commodify it
Yeah.
in a way, if that makes sense.
I think it also put a,
And
like, a
to
new
me,
pressure on you if you did.
it does, and there's like it is a definitely a sense of like um, it's escapism a little bit for lack of a better term, but also like I find that like I have meaningful connections with people over this, and I
Mhm.
think the second I try to make money off of that, those connections don't become as meaningful. And to me,
Yeah.
like I value community and I value camaraderie a lot more than I do about money. And honestly, as long as my bills are paid, my needs are met, then I have not really anything to complain about.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so I
you're
think
saying, like, you'd be fine with, and this is, again, just as a super objective, like, you'd be
yeah,
super
that's
fine
okay.
with just, like, doing what you're doing, working wherever you're working at, like,
Yes.
as long as bills are paid, and you'll just keep fucking around with, like, CRT glitch art and just kinda, like, post
Yeah,
it and, like,
that's
go to, like,
yep.
networking, meet with people, events, things like that.
Yeah, and obviously, like there are big projects and aspirations that everyone has, but I don't expect it to be like it's never like I'm going to make this thing and sell a million copies of it. It's
Yeah.
more like I'm going to make this thing to prove it to myself. Um, but yeah, I'm always like I preserve the relationship I have with creating art very close to me, and I preserve the relationships I've like built with people over that.
Mhm.
And I don't want in any way to compromise or sabotage that. And so it's very important to me that like I'm cool with making money off of it when people want to pay me for it.
But so if an
Um,
opportunity comes up and they're like, "Hey, we
yes,
wanna have you on a contract for, like, 6 months to make glitch art for this thing," like, you'd be like, "Heck yeah, I'll
yes,
do it."
that's I'd be totally would love to do that, but it's also one of those where it's like um, I'm not treating this as like this is my business venture, you know. Like this is like a it's an expression thing, and I
Mhm.
think um, like I don't like make the things I do because I want to like try and be like a cool guy or whatever. Like I make if that is
Cool guy.
for lack of a yeah cool guy or whatever. Um, Sorry, that might be the most dickish thing I've ever said.
No, it's just so
But
it's like so simple. Like I'm doing this to be a cool
um,
guy. It's like so
yeah.
basic.
But I approach it like because it's like I make the things I do because like I feel like I have to and not like I owe it to myself to like I would go crazy if I didn't
It's
do
also
this. Like
fun. Like it's just a
it's
way
fun
of
and
having
you
fun.
stimulate your brain. Like there's so many you could endless reasons.
Yeah.
Sorry, my images are loading. I apologize.
Yeah.
But it's one of those where um I make what I do because I think is cool and I like doing it. And I also like know that if I go too long without making something, I go absolutely batshit insane.
What do
So like
you Okay. So what do you do that's like when I'm assuming your day job is like 9 to 5 kind of thing, and then you come home, and then do you
uh
do you like immediately go and just start making stuff, or do you like try to balance like doing this, being alone in your room, messing with this, and like
it's a
putting
day by day
putting
thing.
putting time into like playing video games or watching movies or hanging out with friends and stuff like that?
So I think I had
Like spending money on
I'm
other
sorry, let's
stuff.
go back over. I'm gonna turn back over to the computer
Okay.
so that way I can start streaming here in a second.
I'm so sorry. Can you re-ask your question?
I think I was just asking, like, I guess it's part of a deeper thing that I always think about, which is like I always have this constant pressure to be making artwork. Like I have a day job, and luckily at the day job I get to make artwork. But so like technically it's like I get paid to make art and I'm an artist, and that is all true every day. But there's also this
Mhm.
external feeling or internal feeling to come home and to reprove that I am an artist by making some kind of project, putting it out there. Sometimes that is just I do that naturally, and it, reaches a lot of people, and it's great, and I get that validation. And then sometimes it's not something that's ready to be put out, but that requires like endless days of amount of work or months or something of work that, well, sometimes I'll catch myself be like, why am I doing this? Like I have a job, my bills are paid. I have friends that want to hang out with me. I have like movies I want to see. I have games that I want to play. Most average
Mhm.
people, they go to work and then they're able to kind of have a life where they just come home and they do home things, like they're with their partner, they're hanging out with family, they have a dog or a cat or both. They have other chores that they need to do around the house, and their life, to me, I feel like that life is like pretty well balanced. But then it's like you and I have the same life, but then we throw in this big heavy boulder of like now you're also have this constant drive to do passion projects, and you need to acquire
Mhm.
equipment and spend your extra income on all this other stuff that's not like really returning financially, but it is more fun, and it's just fun in a different way. And I don't know, I sometimes personally get caught up in those places where I'm like, and then yeah, and then when you want to take a break from that boulder of things,
Mhm.
you feel guilty, you feel bad, like I'm
Yes.
not doing.
Yeah. The
I
guilt
have
is
I have
real.
art that I need to be making right now, and it's like I hate that I feel I'm pressuring myself into
Yeah.
feeding this thing. And like, is there something wrong with me? Why can't I just go to work and then come home and play games and like get a good night's sleep and then do it tomorrow?
It's It's like talking to a mirror, dude. Because I mean, it's so funny. Because like, I experienced the same thing, and I don't have an answer for it, and I would like to meet the person who does, because sometimes it really does keep me awake at night. Um, and I think the best way I can quantify it is
Oh, hold on
like,
one sec. Is your CRT on right
yo,
now? Is it like
my
okay, yeah, turn
apologies.
those off. Yeah. You're good. You're good now. Just want
You're
to
good
catch you
now?
early. Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
Apologies. The wine sometimes cuts to the mic. Um, uh, I don't have the answer, and like I think like I've tried to attack it from many different angles, but really like I've come probably at it with the most dismissive way I can, which is like I just have to. And like
Just try not to overthink it.
as as much of a BS excuse as that is, it's like I have to, because it's like I know what it's like to go a long time without doing it, and I feel like a crazy person. Like I feel like I'm going insane.
But do you
And like
sometimes
it's
enjoy when you have that moment where you're not going insane yet, but you're just
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
freedom.
There's decompress. So um there's a really famous commencement speech that Lauren Hill did, where she basically talked about how like when she released the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, it was great because she had so many things that she wanted to say and talk about, right?
Mhm.
And the reason she hasn't released another album is because she hasn't had anything worth talking about and worth saying or feel like that's worth saying. And she's spending this time between learning and creating, like absorbing and creating. And so like there are periods where like I'll do like a big project or I'll work on something for a long time and I'm like, oh, finally, like it's done. And I put it out and whatever happens to it, it goes out into the void. And I'm like, okay, I kind of feel tapped out. I'm a little burnt out. I'm just gonna chill. And so like, uh be on with my partner. I'll play games, I'll watch a movie, I'll do things that just like are like life enrichment activities, right?
Mhm.
Because you have to make things, you have to pull from experiences. And once you've already pulled from all your life experiences, you can't really make something that's like new,
Yeah.
right? You're just rehashing like same principles and ideas. And so
But are you doing these things
like
thinking like, "Oh, I should do these life enrichment things in order to get new ideas to fulfill the artwork?"
it's all natural. It's all organic. Like to me, I think like I've gone through the motions enough to know when I need to do it and like put myself in a position
Mhm.
to be
Gotcha.
like, I'm just gonna chill. But then like after that, I don't think about it because usually once I do like life enrichment activities, um, I I get the natural like want and urge to be like, oh, I need to make something
Gotcha. It
again,
just comes
right?
back
And so like
naturally.
it just comes back naturally. And I think it's like that's how you avoid burnout. Like
Yeah.
that's how you avoid from being like, oh my god, I don't ever want to look at CRT screen again,
Yeah.
or something like that. So there's that constant back and forth, that balance, and it's really really tricky because it is different for every single person,
Yeah.
and like the way you recharge is different for every single person. Um,
It makes me think about like it feels like it's a friend. It's like a friend of yours that you really like hanging out with,
yeah,
but then you hang out with them too much. And you're like, all right, dude, I am so sick of you. Like, we need to take a
yes,
break. So then
yeah,
and then I'll see you again, and then we'll be excited to see each other again, and then we can like
yes,
hang out or do whatever. It's like sometimes that personal art, that personal project you're working on, you're like, I am almost done here. We're almost done, and then I can't wait to take a break. Yeah,
yeah, and then you come back and it's like it's like you know not seeing an old friend for a long time
yeah,
because like you just pick it right back up where you left off.
yeah.
And so I'm gonna stream my screen to
Okay.
show the Lightroom a little bit, kind of just a very like light process of what it is I do. Again, this is not perfect.
Mm,
This image is a little out of focus, so I would actually go back and rephotograph this.
yeah.
Just for posterity's sake, I do want to show what an image looks like when it is in
Ooh,
focus. You can see the scan lines here.
wow.
So there's so much texture and so much detail,
Yeah.
right? And there's just so much to look at. And like especially like here
Mm.
where it's just like
Whoa.
you get that kind of waffle
Are
pattern
those
and
like
there's
the
so much color.
pixels? So we're seeing?
These are the scan lines on a CRT.
But those like
So
squares, are those like
yeah,
pixels? Okay.
they're called scan lines. And
Mm.
what they are is like a CRT is actually just a single line
Mm.
just moving really really fast at once.
Mm. Mm.
And the scan lines are like is that line. And so that's what an image typically looks like. This is a completely raw image, unedited,
Mm.
straight from camera. So but this is the one we just took.
Yeah.
And again, this one's really out of focus. It's a little blurry, but we're gonna work with it just for what it is for the sake of this experiment. So I'm gonna crop, I'm gonna adjust because I didn't adjust beforehand, even though I should
Why
have.
why are
Because
you
I'm gonna
cropping and adjusting? Like, what is the point?
because so composition, photographer composition, blah blah blah, BS. This is unnecessary information over here, and also there are black bars. So this is if I
Mm.
pull the
Oh,
exposure
gotcha.
up,
The
you're gonna see that's the edge of that's the edge of the
so
CRT,
you just
right?
know from
Uh,
experience.
yeah, just know from experience, I'm pulling away from the black bars, and I'm gonna line it up probably right about here.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough. There's a chance I may crop in a little bit more. Um, I'm gonna do my typical process. Light and contrast, bring down highlights, up the whites, up the shadows, and bring down blacks. Clarity adjustment, highlights down, lights up, darks up, shadows down, right? And then you're gonna
Mm.
see a very, very light, I mean, almost
Mm. Mm.
nothing
Mm.
adjustment. But basically, when I do is with this process is that I flatten the image in terms of like highlight detail and shadow detail. So I want to like not lose contrast, but I want to give myself as much information to work with so that way when I do bring it into Photoshop, right?
Mm.
Um, which is loading right now, I can really start to play around with it. So my first thing I always do with my images
How
now,
big is this image, first of all?
God, let me just do it quick. It depends because I crop sizes, and it grows the more images you add. So if I were to export this right now as it is, it would be 12.3 megs.
Wow, it's
So, but that's
7,000 pixels by 500 or 5,000. 7
yeah.
by 5,000. That's a lot.
If I exported at full res, it'd be 28.4 megs.
I guess
The
I'm more like looking at pixel amount. That's like kind
Oh
of,
no, you're fine. Yeah. And it's a lot. So like it's just for the sake of this exercise, let's just see how fast I can just do a quick edit, right? So filter, blur, Gaussian blur, has set it around the way I like
so
it
you
to be.
duplicated the layer and then blurred it to give it like a bloom.
Duplicate it, blur it, give it a bloom, and then bring it down to maybe around 25-ish. That may still, but I'm gonna curves it, so don't worry about that. So you're seeing that. I'm gonna do a hue saturation, curves, and then I'll do a levels, and I actually do multiples of this, and I'll show this in another example I have pulled up. But first I'm going to put curves under here, bring this back down a little bit, and then this is my typical curves structure that I start out with.
Okay.
So you're seeing a very light,
like more
and
contrast.
I'm going to do levels, a little more contrast in the shadows. I really try to preserve blacks as much as I can, because I do like true black a lot. And this is where the fun part comes in. I can start to hue saturate like crazy. And I'll actually start with color channel. So I'm seeing quite a bit of cyan. So I'm going to try and, I kind of like the cyan in his face, so I might actually go up to green.
With this image, are you just right now just like going off of visually what looks cool, or do you have like a thing you want to tell through the color and everything?
I start with what I think looks cool, genuinely, and it's like, and then I just refine, and then I start incorporating different elements and whatnot. So even with the curves, now that the curves are adjusted, I'm actually gonna bring the bloom up a little bit. I want it to kind of.
I'm asking that, I guess, because usually if you have a thing something you want to tell with an image, you can know that the image is done once it is clearly telling what you want to tell. But when you have an image that's just going off of vibes, it's hard to finish it because you're like, well, it can kind of look good forever.
I think for me, a lot of it is like and everyone's process is different, right? But like, I think for me, it's like I start with vibes, and then I let where like my brain goes kind of inform where I want it to go. And so like right now I'm just doing very basic stuff, and like I would actually not do much else with this because I'd want to incorporate other images. But that's where I would give you a different example. So let's just throw this. I don't know. Let's just go crazy with the
Are there
pinks,
colors that you naturally feel yourself like kind of gravitating towards, and that you've?
Yes, always towards a pink and an indigo. Always, and it's actually a pretty big bias of mine. It's very obvious if you were to go like look online. But I like those colors, and they work, and people like them. So it's like, why not? That's my thing.
It's your style.
It's my style. But yeah, so you can sit here and do this for hours. Again, this color it's all splotchy and gross. I don't like it as it is right now. But like first, even where we're starting from versus where we're at now, right? Like with very minor adjustments.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot.
Yeah, you were able to bring like the face structure back.
So bring more out. And this image, this is one I recently posted.
Whoa, that's so cool.
But this is
it makes it look like she's got like red hair.
Yeah, red hair, but also to me it almost looked like flowers were coming out of her face too.
Yeah.
But like, so let's look at the original image, right? So this is the original image with no adjustments. This is captured from the CRT, straight raw with a minor Lightroom adjustment, which just for what you just saw of just like colors and balancing.
Damn.
What's even kind of cool is that you can even see what's up?
What is that? Is that like crusty noise or something? Like what are those little hairs and stuff?
Those hairs, that's dust that's physically on the CRT screen that I didn't wipe down my monitor before I took it, and I forgot to, and I kind of liked it, so I kept it in because I could have photoshopped this out. But what's great is that when you zoom in, right, like there's so much texture everywhere. Like it's just, you can keep looking for it, right? And so like I built this image, I don't know, this probably took me about an hour or two. So I do a colorize typically. And if I want to color, so this is a different image. It's the exact same photo with a different effect. And then a bloom of that same image. And then when you composite them together, That's what it looks like right now.
That's
And
really
then
cool. Was that like
and
when you hold on, when you took a
what's up?
when you took that second picture where you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna comp that on top," or did you take a
Yeah,
series of images and you were just kind of
I took a
filtering
series.
through?
I take a series of like images with effects I think look cool. So if
Okay.
I were to go back, um, I think it's this show. Yeah. So
Ah.
it's see this is the mind you, this is the exact same image
Mhm.
I've just photographed in tons of different contexts.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna start with the very last one. And you're seeing the black
Damn.
bar in the corner here.
How
Um,
do you like decide what image not? Because honestly, I think all of these are sick.
and that's the tricky part is that sometimes like let's just go to my Instagram, right? Because I recently posted these. Like I have 3 of them, and these
Cool.
are 3 different ones. And so like I liked these
Wow.
3 a lot. So I was like, okay, but I don't want it to be cluttered. I don't want it to be cluttered, right? So I
Mm.
try to think like what has the most to say. And like this one's really
Dude,
fun
that
because
one
there's
is
so much.
so cool.
This one is really, really fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I think it's almost too abstracted. So like
Mhm.
that's the part where like I love it as a texture and I love the color, but like you don't even see her face anymore. So it becomes like a thing. So this is the original of sorry, this one, right? Um you're seeing the before and after kind of right here.
Yeah, yeah, it's just
And
almost like hue shifted almost.
yeah, it's hue shifted. Same thing with this one. This one had quite a bit of a change. I really tried the
Wow.
green was really bugging me in this one.
Mm.
Um, so I tried to mute it out a little bit, and it's not a massive shift, right? But it's just enough to
Yeah,
where,
yeah, yeah. Dude,
yeah.
if you look at
And
like that image, if you zoom out a little bit, so
mm,
one thing I'm seeing is like there's kind of like a bit of a portrait outline of her face, like her like
yes,
the edge of her nose, her
yeah,
mouth, and the chin, and then on the
yeah,
right side at the same level of her eyes, like those repeating patterns, they kind of look like the profile of a face too, like a
yeah. Isn't that
nose and
cool?
yeah.
Yeah, and that's what makes it so fun is that like it's you're seeing like, and again this is all straight from the CRT, right? Like these are effects you can pull out of these machines that, and that was what makes them so beautiful and
Whoa.
so fun. And these are all different images. And trust me, I sit here, I'll be like I don't know which one to use because they're
Yeah.
all, I love them so much, right? But
Yeah.
eventually I composite and I decide, so like I
Gosh.
start with this one, which came from I think this one, right? Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's very similar at the very least. And then Q shifts, and I start compositing, and then you're seeing all my adjustments layers. And then a lot of this is just dialing in color, dialing in contrast. Um, what was this? I don't even know what that was. And I add like little textural stuff. So like I make my own assets.
Mm.
Um, so like if we get really zoomed in here, you can see there's like little, I love a lot of military UI assets and stuff like
Mm.
that. So I make those. So I do lots of Rizzo grids and dot patterns and lines and
Mm.
whatnot. And so like even if I were to do like, let's do this image, right?
Yeah. Ah, this one's
Let's just do
so
it,
bad compared to the one that was like actually
right?
I feel
That's why, yeah, that's why it's like I'm so careful with myself. So let's just colorize it and let's just do something kind of fun with it because fuck it, why not?
dude, that the
Um,
one of the girl's face, I just thought of it. It makes me think of like Perfect Dark Zero. If you've ever seen like
Oh yeah, totally.
yeah.
God, that's a name I've not heard
It
in a
looks
long time.
like I know they were making like a Perfect Dark game or something and then like it's like
Yeah,
on and off. But like, dude, like that if that was the cover for like the Perfect Dark game, like nowadays,
yeah,
that would
dude.
be rad.
Telling you, game covers need to have glitch art on them, dude. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
so I made,
these you made in like Illustrator or something?
yeah, just Illustrator. I just turn a grid on, and then I import it, and then I use that,
Do you make like
adjust.
packs of these like Rezo grids and like dot patterns and
No,
stuff? Mm.
no. Um,
Why not?
I just never considered it.
Mm.
I think it's like I make them for fun for myself, and
Mm.
I guess never like wanted to I should probably colorize this, commodify them. And not that I don't really care, like they're just assets, anyone can use them, but I guess I never really thought about putting the effort into like making them
Is it because no one's
like,
ever asked you to do it?
no. um so I don't know, it's just, but like there's like, again, I wouldn't post this or use this, but uh I make all these assets and I'll like just play around with them. So I have the Rizzo, I have like grid patterns I made, so I'll just do like this one.
Dude, you should put. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to make you do something you don't want to do, but
Oh, totally
you
fine.
should put these out. I mean, if you, I don't know, like I would use these, and I don't even know.
Do you
Like,
want them? I'll pack them up for you.
I would love them. I don't
Okay.
have. I have no idea what I would use them for, but it's. I love having just these kind of like you said, like these random textures to just throw in somewhere and just see what happens.
And they're fun because it's like I'm very inspired by military UI, right?
Like
And so
old
that's the thing.
school
That's
military UI.
old school,
Yeah.
very like like old school military UI. And again, I wouldn't put this out like right now, but it's one of those where like I'm already seeing different things I could start doing,
Mm,
right? There's a lot of fun you could have with this type of stuff, and um, I try to incorporate them very tastefully in different ways. So like there's very, I mean, and Instagram compressed the shit out of this, so you won't even see these
of
dots down
course.
there,
Yeah.
right? But like if I were to print this image, you would see that and blow it up. So like I've had images of like this I've blown up in the past,
Mm,
um,
damn.
where it's just like you can see all this on a print, and especially on a shiny print. These look beautiful on shiny prints. They jump out off the page off the print, and
I
it looks really really pretty.
I look at this and I think, and this is just me and my brain kind of working how it does is I always look at stuff and I'm thinking like, oh, you could package this as a pack, not necessarily to sell, but just to like as an asset thing that can help other artists like with whatever they're doing. So for example,
Yeah,
like
like a stamp or whatever.
yeah, like so for example, those grid patterns, like obviously like there's other people who are probably making like UI things and they could use those, but also what like I've done a lot of cyberpunk cityscape things where there's just like billboards of like faces that are glitching out. And if you had 10-second loops of like faces being distorted in this kind of glitchy way, those just as MP4s could be super useful to like 3D artists to just put into like billboard cityscapes and stuff.
Glass. One of my glitch friends Tom does that. Glass Void on Instagram. He's an amazing glitch artist, and he has been experimenting a lot with Blender.
Mm.
Very cool dude. I love Tom. Um, but yeah, he makes that stuff. And he does a lot of renders with glitches, and he does a lot of stuff where he turns glitches into like he's talked about like turning them into like displacement maps and stuff like that.
That's
Um,
really cool. Well, what I mean is like if you just had MP4s in like portrait or
mhm.
landscape mode just as a pack, whether you make it
Oh,
free or not, you can bring that in as an image or as a video sequence in Blender, and you can just stick it in the side of a building, and there's your there's your digital glitchy billboard for your
yeah,
cityscape or whatever. Ooh, this is
that's
cool.
smart.
I like what you're doing here.
I think less color is gonna work in my favor right now.
Yeah, like the black and white with the one thing over his eye that's like blue or red or
Yeah,
something. Can we make it red instead of blue?
yeah. I'm changing
The
it.
crosshair.
So if we're to make it, and
Yeah.
then where's oh sorry right here. Yeah, and then
Something there.
and so it's just again endless playing around, right? Like it's just like you could do as much as you want. I didn't build this grid pattern does not line up with anything else, so it's always kind of a pain in the ass if I need to remake it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't use it that much anymore. But again, this is like really simple, but like if I mean you could even like let's say we wanted to crop in, right? It's like we
Wait,
crop in.
I have a question, and you can definitely say no if it's going to be like too much work. But
No, it's fine with it.
could we put like the Blender logo into the CRT and get that glitch effect on it, and then go off of that as
Yeah,
the subject?
yeah, that's totally fine.
I
We
think
can totally do that.
I
Whatever
think
you
that would be
want.
a rad like little collab thing in the spirit of everything. So yeah, it has
Which
like
one should we
I would say
do? The
just
color one?
take the logo, like if the one
Oh,
outside it, yeah, if you would have to hop out of that, like X out of that,
okay.
if go to the square,
Oh, this.
yeah,
Okay. The one just in color.
yeah, just like the highest
Okay.
res they have,
Yeah. Okay, we'll do open this one,
1024.
and then here's what I'm gonna do actually, because I'm gonna make this even easier for myself, even though it's connecting. You should be seeing it pop up here in just a second.
Yeah, cool.
So that's a little zoom. So let's full screen this, right? So
Oh, that's
I
so
have the
cool
Blender logo.
already. I'm like hearing like I forgot what the like PBS music in the background, like
Yeah, yeah, the little
some kind of chime or something. Yeah.
yeah. See if I can get these effects to really pop out. Oh, I moved my tack over, that's why. There we go.
Whoa.
Um,
Can you move your cursor, like your mouse cursor off screen?
oh, my apologies. Yeah, there we go.
Dude.
There we go.
All right, so I'm gonna let you just
So,
cook, do your own thing, because I think it'd be cool to make a
okay,
little like
so let's
visual piece.
cool. Let's do this. So let's do like let's look for the right effect here.
My only like direction would be to try to keep the colors in some
Yeah,
portion of the logo.
Yeah, I would like to do that also. Okay, let's get rid of this. I'm gonna zero these out. So I'm actually gonna just switch back over and see. Come on.
Weird, I
Come
can
on.
hear it in
So-
your microphone. It's kind of cool though.
Isn't that weird?
Ooh. Whoa.
That's kind of cool too. So
Dude, that's so trippy. It's like we'll be right back. Ooh, little rainbow.
a little rainbow.
Cute.
Capture that one.
It's got that like magenta that you like.
Okay.
And are you just taking a screenshot, or is it? Oh, you're taking it with the phone with the camera.
It just captures it.
Cool.
I have that set up for capture right now. There we go.
Whoa.
So how much can I exaggerate that right now? There's something going on, right? Oh, great. And it's the tricky thing with these knobs that they're about 90%, right? So it's like in that final 10% is where you're gonna see all the crazy stuff start to happen.
I will say that I think because your microphone is next to those PVMs, it's like picking up audio from it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Just letting you know.
Thank you.
Whoa. Dude, what the hell? Can you move the
Yeah.
overlay? Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't want why?
Just X out
Love
of it.
software.
Yeah.
So then I just want to see this pop up, make sure that I'm not getting the V line. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Trying to just dial it in a little bit so it comes back.
You're like, it's funny that you say dial it in because you're literally dialing.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to get the signal to just cooperate a little bit, right?
Holy. Some of those shots are it's just green. It's like insane.
Yeah, there's so much color distortion that can happen. Whoa.
What the?
There's so many things when you start twisting a bunch of knobs.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
All right, come back. Thank you. And that's the thing is that sometimes it's just like when they get a mind, like it's almost like you're fighting it because it's like they get a mind of their own. But once you kind of tame it a little bit,
yeah,
that's
it's like burnt out.
I'm actually gonna long exposure this one when it wants to decide to cooperate with me.
Jeez, that's kind of scary.
So that's a little scary.
It's a little creepy.
Let's do.
Oh,
Just
move the second monitor.
Oh, you
screen.
fast?
Just
There we go.
You're good.
All right, I need to switch that. Oh, you're seeing my dead pixels.
I don't think so. I'm not seeing anything.
You can see the little red and blue ones right there. So I'm just getting a few different ones right now. I just kind of want to get different effects.
Totally.
Oh, there we go.
Whoa, an inverted one.
Yeah, the inverted one is cool.
It's like a tunnel. Dude, that's super crazy.
I'm gonna do this at 20. Okay.
Dude.
And then I'll do one more effect.
Sure.
And I think I'll pull these in. Come back.
Come back to me, baby.
There. Come back. Come back. Oh,
it's funny because you can't really like Control Z from where you were. It's all like moving. It's constantly moving.
You just have to keep moving the knobs until there you go.
Holy.
It's gonna catch that.
You had it for a second.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
I got it mid-trans.
Yeah, that's actually dope.
Cool. All right, so I got enough effects.
Cool.
Right. So.
Were those like in focus, you think? Or does it not matter because it's like straight? Holy shit.
No. They're not, but
God. I'll say this. In the it's okay. I mean, it still looks like I don't know, it looks focused in a way to me.
It's very blurry. Hold on, let me turn this back on.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna
I
let you.
can still work with them, but
Okay.
what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, like in the whole conversation about like making asset packs for various effects and stuff, um, so, like dust. Like I remember when I used to do a lot of digital paintings and cover artworks for like album covers and stuff. I would always use a pack of like dust um images of like dust on the
Yeah.
screen, and you could make a pack of just that. Like if you just make a dark lit up like a backlit display and then take pictures of all the like little hairs and particles that are on there, like that would really, that one looks in focus.
Yeah, I just fixed it.
Oh, okay, good. We can get a couple. We can get like 5 more, and then we can like
Yeah.
jump out.
Yeah. Just want to get this. Let's do it the other way. Yeah, I know. It's a really hard life. I'll adjust these knobs a little bit. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do that. Thank you. Okay. So it's temperamental.
Hmm.
And that's the hard thing, is that it's like I said, sometimes you're fighting these machines, which again, it's fun in its own way, but it's like, really, if I wanted to make this not an issue for myself, I should just get a time-based corrector, which is just something that keeps V-hold proper. That was looking really cool, whatever that was. Come back. There's a split second. I like the blue that's coming out of that. And then there we go.
Let's try to get one with like the OG colors, maybe like not as much distortion.
Yeah, I'm doing this one as a texture, so I'll show kind of how I overlay the textures. If I want to get this one come back, I don't think it's gonna come back. It's not worth it. So let's turn this one off, and then we're gonna get the OG color to come back. You zero out, zero out. Here we go.
Dang, that's so fun.
We'll do this one. Seen something right.
I just realized I should have given you the logo for this podcast, but this is actually like more fun. Next time.
You're totally fine. Yeah, this totally. I was able to find it in 2 seconds. Or wait, sorry, but
Dude.
I can also make it after the fact.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
do
true.
this one too. Effect. And then I'm actually going to do one of just the dry signal,
Cool.
and then we can overlay on top of that.
Yeah, that sounds really smart.
So let me zero out really fast, because I got to just turn all my knobs off. Come on, come back. There we go. Cool.
Dude, that's beautiful. I would just say that if you're done with the PVMs, to turn them off.
Yes.
Because it's interfering with your audio. It sounds almost like the PVMs like destroy your.
Weird, dude.
Yeah, I hear you, but it sounds like robotic, kind of with like static. I hope your mic isn't messed up from all that.
No, it's my interface. It hasn't done it in a long time, so that's very unfortunate, but it's just another thing I get to fix. So here's all of our images.
Cool.
So I'm just going to drag this folder into my import. Let us do its thing. And let's just roll with it.
Are you getting any ideas already now that you've seen what you've seen?
Sometimes I very rarely, I like to work off of a basis, right? So like, here's the original image. Like here's our dry signal. And I know that so I don't do any cropping or anything at this stage. I just, like I said, I flatten out the image. So what I'm gonna do is just bring this down. Highlights are gonna be fine. Shadows, I'm gonna keep them the same. Black point, really bring that down. Clarity down. Highlights, probably about there. Lights there. Maybe right there. Darks up and darks down. And again, you're seeing a very, very, very.
I like it. It's more punchy.
Yeah, it's just you just want it to kind of do its job, and then I'm gonna just apply this same setting. Oh, if Lightroom didn't, Photoshop didn't want to take over. And I'm gonna look through and think like, okay, I like these ones. That one's cool. That one's cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring exposure up a little bit. So that's gonna go in. And then we're gonna do the same with this one. Bring exposure up a little bit. That's gonna go in. And then I think I'll do this one also. Yeah, we'll do this one.
Damn.
Okay. And that's all gonna go into Photoshop in separate files. And I get to do the very fun and arduous task of copying them into the source. I'll keep that there for now. So, and then I'll say bye to you. And I'm gonna do the same as this one. And the first thing I'm gonna do is crop because I see a black bar already. I really don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we have 4 different.
Sick.
So we have 4 different things we can work off of. But first, before we do anything, let me see where my crop lines at. So let's do a crop first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring it in. Center it. Fuck.
What?
I just clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, okay.
I had to read. There you go.
I mean,
It's not perfect crop.
hitting enter would also do the same.
No, I was just stupid for a second. And so I'm gonna work top bottom first, right? So like I'm seeing this image and then I'm gonna apply it and then I'll like I really just go through my different like layer adjustments and honestly like I have to just kind of feel it out. So I kind of am liking the luminosity a little bit.
Okay.
So we'll start with that. And I might even start by inverting it and applying it only to the layer below.
Whoa.
And then, trust me. And I think like, okay, that's gonna look good as a screen. I'm not liking the invert now. Bye. And so, and we'll look at this as maybe, because the thing is that it can easily get too crunchy, right?
Yeah.
So you want it to like be in the fine line between where it's not crunchy, but you want it to be.
You don't want it to be like deep fried.
Yeah, I don't want to deep fry it. And so I'm already seeing that we're kind of entering deep fried territory.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to be really careful about doing that.
There's like a balance. Honestly, it's like a balance between deep fried and like getting the glitchy texture.
So I think we're actually going to make a decision between one of these two if I'm honestly looking at it. And my brain, oh man, I like this one, but only if I were to key it as like an alpha. So if I were to like colorize and then desaturate. And then maybe bring it down a little bit. Or even I could colorize it actually. So if I like attempted to color match maybe the blue in the center. So let's make it a little bit brighter, a little bit more cyan. It's not quite perfect, but we're close already. Right, so we're already getting that extra texture right there.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to do much for it.
Like I wonder if you could just mask out the circle, like the blue circle of that, like the repetitious kind of the top.
Oh,
one.
like take that out.
Yeah, like maybe that'll help it read.
Yeah. Bit easier.
I'm saying like mask out that from that layer, the top layer. Like if you put a mask on that layer and then just hit that circle in the middle with like a black.
Like key it. Okay, I keyed out. Okay, so let's do that. My brain is not braining right now. I apologize. So we'll do this. Okay, no, that's not the button I selected, buddy. Thank you. I'm gonna go here. Oh, my harness. Let's do quick select. I'm sorry. I'm a very lazy Photoshop user.
No, you're good. This is how you do it. This is the magic.
I'm very, very lazy.
The laziness is the magic.
It's not pretty, but I'll just smooth out with an eraser tool because that's how lazy I am. And then, okay, I'm not even gonna worry about it a whole lot. And I'm gonna say bye, and I'll just do a quick smooth That's
Oh,
what you were thinking.
I wasn't saying to delete it. I was just saying to put a mask on it, like to put a
Oh,
adjustment mask kind of thing, and then like paint it
okay.
out. You could or whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know, you put a mask on a layer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you just copy pasted it.
Oh God, dude, I'm sorry. My brain is. Okay. There we go. Now
Take,
I'm looking.
yeah, yeah, and then you can like invert that or something,
Yeah.
so you can still get the.
Oh. God, my brain. Sorry, my brain is not braining today. Kind of digging almost like the sea foam. It's almost like a ripple effect that you're seeing.
Well,
Like,
what you did ended up being the invert of what I was saying. Like save the outside and then cancel out the inside.
wait, we got it. There we go.
Yeah, and then you
Right?
can use like
Okay.
a brush or something to soften that if you want, but or you can leave it.
Yeah. I'm a stickler, so I'm just gonna fix that.
Do you use a tablet or anything like that, or no?
No, all mouse.
Mm. And
I probably should use that.
is what I'm asking you to do something that you don't normally do?
No, I do this stuff all the time.
Okay, like you use the.
My brain. Yeah.
Cool.
My brain's just like fried.
Deep fried.
I'm kind of thinking, God, I really like that effect too.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I'll sit here. I will sit here for hours and be like, I don't know which one I like more, you know,
Yeah.
and then I'll like play around like, oh, can I make them both work? And I usually start with a hue saturation, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And so I just think like,
make a.
obviously that's way too much.
Let's just say this: like you're allowed to make multiple, like two or three versions that we can save out.
Okay. So let's do that. So I kind of like this version as it is. I'm gonna give it a quick bump so it's not as flat. It's too contrasty, so I'm gonna bring that up a little bit. Oh, hi. Wait, why are we here? There we go. I'm gonna bring this in. Just do a little bit. Okay. So we're gonna stick a little close to this. Yeah. It's just giving it a fresh coat of paint. So let's export this one as it is. This one's kind of cool too.
I like that. I kind of like that. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I am gonna bring.
Sometimes like just going to sticking with like a little sprinkle on the original goes a long way. It
does, yeah. So let me bring this down a little bit. And it's a really tricky thing with photographing CRTs too when it's fully focused is that you're seeing moire happening.
Effect.
And so obviously when you zoom in, right, like it's not gonna be there. So there's a real fine, like I'm trying to not get the moire a lot. So what I might do is, because there's like contrast is relative to saturation, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna go into, I'm just gonna bring in, you guessed it, another hue saturation layer. And I think that's gonna help alleviate a little bit. Yeah, I think I was gonna do that instead because I really just want to saturate it because I think some of the color got washed out on the original. So we will export this, and then that blue is not color matched. I'm going to make it a little bit more cerulean, just slightly.
Cerulean blue.
Yeah, that's probably closer. Okay, export, and then we get to see how messed up my desktop is too.
That's okay. I can take the screen off of your desktop.
Okay. And I'll do, I don't know, glitch 1, right?
Sure. And
then say bye to you.
Ooh, wow. Suddenly that's cool too.
Yeah, that's if we take the layer mask out.
You can right click on it and then you can just disable it and keep the layer mask there. Usually.
My brother, yeah, disable it. Okay, and then
what was the other one that you liked? You said there was one that you liked. You couldn't decide between.
Did I delete it? I am such a stickler for deleting things. I love deleting things so much.
I hate that.
I'm sorry.
I've deleted things and I'm just like, whoops. When did I delete that? I hope that wasn't 20 steps ago.
Why did I do that? I think it was this one. It was definitely this one.
Yeah, something about this like how straight those lines are and then they get interrupted by the shape is really cool.
So I'm gonna crop in here again. I'm gonna do a rough crop. And then I honestly kind of like it. Sometimes, like with the CRTs, I don't like to do a whole lot of color manipulation to the image because sometimes it does a lot of stuff on its own that's like I don't have to mess with it. Even though I typically do a lot of color manipulation.
Do you, when you're working with animated stuff, are you doing color manipulation in After Effects? Like this kind of stuff, but just in After Effects?
Yes. Yeah, I do it in After Effects. Because After Effects, there's, as much as I hate Premiere, sometimes I'm able to, with my pre image, I'm able to get like 90% of the way there, like my before the pre-processing effect. I'll get like 90% of the way there, and then I glitch it out, and then usually I can actually, I know, video person red flag, but I'm able to get the last 10% dialed in Premiere when I do the final compositing.
Cool. Yeah. Makes sense.
Again, because I'm lazy.
It's all good. That's how we do things.
Yeah. And I don't like the green that's in it a whole lot, so I'm going to try and make it a little less green. And I'm not going to do hue, I'm going to do selective color for that instead. So let's go to our greens, right? And just take his stuff out. And even then, it's just like, I'm not even digging it a whole lot. And then there's a lot of yellows, but our yellows I'm kind of liking that a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's lean into that.
Yeah.
And then maybe make it a little bit more angry. Yeah, kind of like a little red bleed on there. So started here. I'm kind of liking where that's at now.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where it's like you don't got to do too much to it.
You don't do a whole lot. And then, come on. I'll do. I'm very manual about everything. I don't have good workflows in place. So I'm painfully slow to watch, I'm afraid.
No joke.
And then, is this the same one? No, this is a different one. Very similar. So, but I'm kind of digging this one too. So let's do a hue set. And let's bring those reds back to orange.
Do you have one from the original group that's like super distorted? Because we can use, or like that you took for texture or something.
We could apply those, yeah. Again, these are kind of blurry.
You had one. That you said you took for texture. You want to use that one?
Yeah. Let me see which one that is. I think it's this one. This one or
what's that second
one? One of these.
The second black and white one.
This one?
Yeah. What's that one? Oh no, it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same as. I think it was this one because I really like this effect that's going on. It's so.
Yeah, it's trippy.
Let's do.
So maybe take the rainbow one because the rainbow one, I feel like there's opportunity for like magentas. Yeah. Like I want you to kind of do one that's like your vibe.
Yeah, let's do. Hold on. Wants to upload, and then I'll put this. I'm gonna copy. It's already pre-cropped, but I can line it up really quickly. Okay, yeah. Just do it by hand.
Fun.
No, don't crop, buddy. My brother in Christ. You have to yell at software here. It's a little bit of a distortion.
That's okay. Yeah. Even if it's like not perfectly centered, it kind of adds to the effect.
Yeah, if I bounce it there, that was pretty decent at this. I think I bump my camera a little bit. Okay, and we'll crop. And I can change the effects later. We're hitting the edge of the crop here. And then I'm actually gonna colorize. And then trying to think. I think I was kind of digging this orange a little bit. Go more yellow.
Make this one like your favorite colors.
Okay. Oh, that looks real sick. I can't wait.
Yeah, it looks really vintage. Because we have like the safe kind of blender undistorted look, then we have one that's a little like deep fried, and then I think this one for the colors like to go with like a Trevor Gagnier color scheme.
Okay, we'll do a me one.
Yeah.
And then with this one, I really hate the way that's looking right now. So I'm actually going to put this on the base layer and let this be a screen. Oh, it's because the heat. Yeah, come on. Yeah, I know. Am I stupid?
Oh, just
Why did it? Oh
turn
my
off.
god.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. Sorry. I was like, what's going on? Okay, so the hue saturate here.
whoa.
Yeah. I'm gonna completely mess the color up on this one.
Yeah, go completely TG TM.
Okay. TM.
TG TM.
I'll do it as fast as I can because usually sitting here going full TG is
yeah, you have a deadline.
Is an hours long process. This is like hey, we need the raw files hitting our hard drive in 5 minutes.
Yeah, like the client wants to come take a look. Like, you gotta get your
Yeah.
PC, you gotta get it ready.
So I'm gonna go for all reliable.
Your grids.
We'll do. Which one do I do? Which one do I do?
The dot.
Where's the normal one?
The dot pattern?
Yeah, or we'll do the normal Rizzo. I'll put it over here. Yeah, I know.
Cool.
And we'll put you like typically in a corner. I like to corner them off a little bit. Almost like they're kind of bleeding into the frame.
Like overlapping things.
Yeah. And then a lot of this is just going to be like adjusting the color. And then I'll typically.
Our client is in the elevator. They're not at your floor yet, and your office is pretty far from the entrance. But yeah.
And then I'm gonna do a curse.
And they're stalling. Boop. They're stalling them.
Boop. Boop. That blue's getting changed. Wait.
I'd like another grid pattern if you can, or like a UI element.
I was thinking the exact thing. And then I was going to do, which ones do I have here? There's a crosshair. There's a reticle. Let's do, screw it. Let's just throw the other Rizzo in there. I love this one.
Okay.
Come back, my sweet summer child. I know. And then I'm trying to think. Let's just make it kind of big and obnoxious. Not that big. Let's fill up the whole frame now.
The client is now on your floor, but they're like being shown some other thing.
Okay.
Some other artist's artwork.
And then.
But you hear them like in the distance talking.
Yeah, I can hear his voice.
He's like, "Oh, that's so cool! You guys are doing some cool stuff." Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
What's Trevor working on? Can we go see that? Yeah. Just yeah, he's cooking up something right now. Actually, I think maybe we can catch him like mid flow.
Trevor's sick today.
He's actually out.
Yeah.
Actually, he quit just 3 hours ago. He quit.
Okay, I think we're gonna lie the placement here. Okay. And then just making sure there's nothing out of the. Yeah, I was liking where that's at.
You just got like a Slack message asking if they can come by. And you're like, yeah, sure, just yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming. They're like you see they're like an eye line. They're like down the hall. They're coming over slowly.
Thank you guys. We're gonna go pink.
Yeah, the little splash of pink at the top is cool.
Yeah, and then final crop, and then we're done.
Okay. Oh no, Photoshop crashed.
Oh, sorry guys. Oh, can you come back another day?
Yeah. Oh, look at what Trevor's working on. Whoa, that's really funky.
Guys. That's something, isn't it?
Just made this. Wow.
Yep. Oh wow. That's that sure is something, ain't it? Yep, just fixing this little bit.
Wow, that's so cool. All right, you guys can keep working. Looks good. That's all.
So for a little jam, I mean,
I like
it's just one of those where it's like, yeah, it's like,
dude, that one's
obviously I want it.
This is sick. You got to save it.
I want it, I am saving the original file. I'm gonna desaturate. or yeah.
Desatch.
Okay, it is saving, and then I'm gonna.
I would recommend, like, if you're gonna post it on socials, considering like how much IG like compresses things. If you do
Yeah.
3 slides of each one and then do like a punch in, like whatever, the 25% or 75% zoom on any section that you think is like
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
For each one.
Sometimes the glitch stuff gets so lost in.
Yeah.
From beginning, that was a very as much as I can condense it. That was very much of like a synopsis of like the type of stuff I do.
That's awesome. I love
It's
seeing
like
that.
I spend a lot more time on like every single piece, and but trying to get it like all together is just like it's a lot. It can be a lot of work, dude. And but it's fun. I like doing it. It's not like I treat it like, oh, this sucks, or I only do it.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome,
but
dude.
yeah, dude.
It's getting late for me, so I think this would be an awesome place to stop. We didn't really like talk about the photo book, anything like that, but that's fine. Like there's like a whole separate thing. Yeah, man.
I'll talk more about it in the future. I know.
Yeah, easily. Okay, cool. So, dude, thanks for doing this. This was really cool. It was cool to like see you actually do your stuff in real time, and then kind of just even learn about how you got into it. So,
yeah, thank you, man. It's really cool. I'm always very giddy to show off stuff like this. So
cool, man. All right, well, I'm gonna stop the recording and we can kind of catch up afterwards. But thank you.
Okay.
See ya.